Hey guys, welcome back to the Reality Kingdom where we put the real in reality or whatever, period. I'm here tonight. We made it. We finished
did it.
BB7. We've done all these game reviews, and to help wrap it up, I got Drake, D, and Josiane with me. How y'all feeling? We did it. We did it.
We
did
made it.
Hooray.
And before we get into it, I gotta say shout out to Cass for like putting this all together, all the notes.
Oh, it was a lot of work, y'all. Yeah. Thank you.
If you're not in the Discord, he put his notes in the Discord. That shit was crazy. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Girl, yeah. If you want to see all that work, please, because this segment was not easy. Hopefully, it'll be easier for 28 when it's live, and for BB8, I'm hoping I'll be more prepared. But we got one season down, and I'm happy about it. But now that we've made it, you guys are feeling good.
Yeah. I can't wait to rate the last two. One of them could use that $50K to buy some dignity, as one put it. And so I'm glad to channel the spirit of Allison today for my commentary.
Nice.
There we go.
So we're going to have time at the end to talk overall about the season because this is the last one. Yeah. So now just tell me specifically how you feel about this specific final two to represent the season.
Ooh. Okay. Not taking account
hindsight doesn't look great.
Yeah. No. Not taking into account Boogie's real life stalking actions. I think at the time I would have been okay with a Boogie win. Like I'd rather have Dr. Will, but I as a TV personality, like I've never disliked Boogie. He's just like he's okay to me. Like makes me laugh every once in a while.
I quite liked him.
Yeah, he is
not
like
knowing everything else.
Yeah, like I always think of Boogie. I always think of BB14 for some reason more than I do 7. But I think at the time I would have been fine. It is. I think it's because that's like around when I got into Big Brother, so I think it was more fresh. But I would have been okay if Boogie win. Now Erika's here. She was also on the season.
When Julie Chen asked the 5 people who got evicted before jury if they thought any of the final two deserved to be there, and no one raised their hand, that's exactly how I felt. I said, "Oh, so even back then we were all in agreement that this final two sucks." I think Boogie isn't a I don't know. I don't even know the thing about the scandal to be honest with him and like Dr. Will, R.I.P. Chilltown, I guess. But I like watching the show. Like Boogie is very much early 2000s, like white Eminem in the black accent.
Yeah, that is weird.
He high-key reminds me of my dad. Like high-key reminds me of my dad. Like,
that is so disrespectful to Eminem.
We all know what he was down with the culture. I could tell. I felt like he respected it, not appropriated it, even though it was kind of thin line.
Talking about Boogie?
Yeah.
Well, he was his best friend. He
read
was
those feeds
close
too
friends
closely.
with Sean Rector from Survivor. Well, he was. Not
I will always give Boogie his 10s for getting Sean Rector on Survivor. Thank you, Mike Boogie, for doing that. That's the best thing he's ever done in his life.
Wait, what did he do on feeds that was giving?
Well, everyone just has a much more relaxed vocabulary on the feeds, and especially when Boogie gets drunk. No.
Okay, thank
God. Not that I saw.
They were saying the R word a lot on that.
No, the R word is crazy. The R word,
a lot.
R word was in everyone's lexicon.
The thing is, though, if we go through these feeds, we're gonna hear the R word until we get to like BB18. Like I don't, it's gonna keep coming up.
You know what's so crazy? People are still saying it to this day. Like
Zay said it last season.
Like I'm not even talking about this season.
Wait,
the other day I heard
didn't Jared say it?
And I was like, "What's wrong with you?" Like,
yes.
I genuinely, and this person was like, "Who cares?" I was like, "I do. Don't ever say a slur like that again."
No, high key. This is full transparency on the. I think I've said this on the podcast before. I did not know people found that word offensive until Jared said it, and it was on Twitter. People were like mad about it because that's just like I grew up hearing that word all the time. I've had teachers call me that word. Like I think that's just a word I hear all the time. Like that's just like shout out to Kentucky. We're repping us strong over here. But that's just like,
that is a state. Yeah. That is a state.
Like I heard that word my whole life.
Does that state have a flag? No,
yeah, we all have flags.
No, they have a flag.
Yeah.
A certain flag in that state.
Well, back
Oh.
to the plot. Back to the plot. Back to the plot.
Lost the
Yeah,
plot.
this final two is very a sign of the times, to be honest, though. And it kind of talks about how the best players usually never win. Like, I just feel like when you're a big target and you're a target for so long, there's no way they let you sit in the end unless they're dumb or like they just win out. There's no in between. Like, you're either dumb or you just win it yourself.
So what would be your ideal final two? Will and
who
Danielle?
I think best represents this season, like whether you like them or not, it's Will and Janelle. Like, to me, they represent the best this season. I said my piece about Will last week. I was very irritated about the fact that halfway through in the beginning he was kind of giving it whatever. But at the end of the day, I feel like Boogie really needed Will specifically for Janelle, whereas like Erika, we'll get to her. Like, she didn't have that much of an impact in the game, except for maybe the week of Janelle, like Danielle gets evicted, and even then, like, oof. So, I mean,
Talk to me about this. I think Jackson Holly is known as like a showman that notoriously got to the end, but I think this was the first, right?
Yeah, if you're not counting Cowboy and Drew as the first showmance to make it to the end.
What the hell? Who the hell?
they're the first. They're the first showman.
Wasn't Will flirting with Nicole?
Will flirted with
Oh,
everyone this season.
Will
He was in bed with Shannon. That does not count.
But Shannon
Nicole
left week
made
4.
wishes. That was not a showman's. That was
Yeah.
not a
Wow.
showman.
Will flirted with
Fine.
everyone on that season.
Everyone.
Regardless, talk to me about the power of showmances. I feel like we get. Is it good for your game? Is it bad for your game?
Question?
Because
feel like
you
they're
hear
over-
so many times it's bad for your game, but like, there's so many times I think it works out. Like this season, it works out. Jackson Holly. I'm thinking Emmett and Jillian. I'm thinking Neda and John.
I
Wow.
think
Kind of.
And that's exactly the point. I think showmances aren't actually bad for the game, for your game personally, because that's
They're
someone you
bad for the game. Yeah.
The issue is that it's bad for everyone else. It's not bad for you, it's bad for everyone else. Because we've seen this, and I can really only speak to BB Can because like I know this for a fact. Most of the final two, if not all of the final twos, made it to the end and they were in a showman's. Like
Yeah.
season 1, Jillian and Emmett. Season 2, we can John and Netta. Season 3 technically doesn't count, but Sarah was in a thing with Willow, if you want to count that.
I remember that.
well,
Or the
Kelsey
Pax
was with
winners
that
were
guy.
kind of a mess. They weren't really the whatever. Season 5, Kevin's whole strategy was to flirt with William. Season 6,
Kayla.
who doesn't win is in a showmance.
Yeah.
Season 7, we can skip. 8 is COVID. 9, like all of the people who made it to the end were in a showmance. I can't speak to US. I don't know. I don't have the list of it like downloaded in my head like that. There's only like maybe 2 or 3 winners in BB Can history who weren't in a showmance. So we know it works for the people who are in them. And the frustration is I think people get scared of targeting a showmance because it's 2 people automatically going after you. So
Right.
it is good for the people who are involved. It just takes other people in the house to wake that shit up. That's why targeting people who are potentially going to be in a showmance early on, we see this strategy come up, like people targeting good-looking guys in the beginning, is because those are the people who have the potential to be in a showmance. So that doesn't mean everyone doesn't have potential, but that's why a lot of people do that as well. They're strong, but they're
Yeah.
also likely to find a showmance.
yeah.
I don't think showmances are that successful in BBUS.
I mean-
do they
they're
make
not
it-
the rec. I feel like the percentage isn't as high as people like to
I
perceive
think
it. is.
showmances make it far a lot, but like specifically make it to like the final two, how Boogie and Erika do, isn't as common. But I think in US we see this a lot more than in Canada, where like I think a showmance is very benefit if they're both actually playing the game, but people don't see them as the showmance, you see them as players who are in a showmance. Or I feel like on US we got a lot of players who are just in a showmance. Like, okay, you guys are a showmance, you do nothing but make out and talk all day. Like you're only with each other. Or on like Canada, I feel like Ika and John, it's like you guys are people look at them as a showmance, but they're actually playing as well. So I think
Yeah, but I think in BB Can, like a lot of the time you get showmancers getting to the end together or very close together. You get Kayla and what's his name? Was his name Derek? I can't
Yeah.
remember. Or you get
Right, season 6.
Iker and Dimitri's made it very far. But in
Demetrius was
BBUS,
in the final 3, and Kevin was in a
yes.
romance. So,
But in BBUS, it's more so like one of the showmans goes earlier, and then the other one makes it far to the end. Like I'm thinking
Yes.
Rachel, Jordan, Nicole, Vince and Morgan, Loki, kind of,
yeah.
Chelsea and
Alyssa
Cam, depending on how you want to see
Alyssa,
that.
Alyssa from BB23.
Taylor and Joseph / Taylor and Monty, if you consider that. I don't know where people stand on the Monty stuff, but
Right.
like,
I mean, was really Taylor and Monty a showmance, or more was it Joseph?
well,
and Taylor?
I don't want to call them a showmance, but they did participate in showmance
I mean,
activity. So Taylor will
So
say
the
it
point
herself,
is,
and
We
it's
all
not
get
a,
horny.
people who get in showmances often make it far. I think we're in
Mhm.
agreement, right? So it's interesting that one got to.
one of them, at least one of them does.
Yeah.
Yes.
I feel
but
like
I will say a lot of the time someone is made to look like the person who got dragged along by the other person in US. I don't feel like that's like the case in like Canada, except for maybe like
That's true.
a few people. But like Erika, I feel like is a prime example of this, and we'll get to it, where it's like people don't think she did shit. I will give my opinion, but people don't think she did shit. So like it's like, oh, Boogie got you here. You got played all season long. And we hear that rhetoric a lot in BBUS in general.
I see.
But are they?
Well,
But in
we're
Erica's
here to
case,
establish if that's the case, right?
okay,
What?
Go ahead.
Okay. So I just said we're here to determine if that's the case, right?
Oh,
So,
well, yes.
So Erika comes into the game with virtually no target. She was voted into the house by America allegedly, somehow. And she comes into the game with not that much, you guys. She comes into the game with a frosty relationship with Allison, which we are told about. Now we later find out that Erika is the queen of pre-gaming, where James Ryan is notoriously known for like having messaged everyone in the chat. Erika did too. Erika is just way slicker about it, you guys. She comes into the house pretty much aligned with everyone to an extent, and she's dating Boogie 6 months before the show, and they keep it a secret from everyone until like week 6.
So why was she flirting? Why was she flirting with Kaser?
That's exactly. Can we
She was
shut up?
bored.
Because
bored.
she's crying to
It's
Kaser
Kaser.
week 1 about how she just got over her breakup and blah blah
Wait,
blah.
and she
But was
Yeah,
there
that's fake.
overlap? Was there
That's
overlap,
fake.
Mama? 'Cause
The break-
Were you cheating?
The breakup was about to be
Boogie was also
Boogie.
cheating, so with Diane.
The breakup was about to be Boogie if Kaser stayed, because she was completely ready to be with Kaser.
Yeah.
Kaser's a good looking dude. Like, I'm straight and I probably flirt with Kaser too. Like, I get it. Like, you gotta sometimes,
I would
Get
too.
bored.
I would hate his gameplay, but I would flirt with him. He's fine.
You tell him how bad of a game player he is as you flirt.
Well, yeah, I would flirt with Kaser. Who wouldn't? Call me Marcellus. I would flirt with Kaser. I would
Put up your allies.
in his hair during that challenge. Okay.
This is my theory about why Erika was was slicker with pre-gaming. One, she's probably just like less messy than James. I feel like James was actually like texting people the same day.
Messy.
I wonder if people just didn't take her as serious if her getting on the cast, and they're like, so they didn't spill that information to other people.
The probably like, why is she here?
I think everyone just thinks Erika's a number for them in some way, you think? Or like Erika's a backup plan. Like, it's not like Erika's making much moves in the game, so it's like, oh, I'll save her for later, Or potentially she can be a plan B if things were to go awry. I don't know.
Do you think it's because she's not like the name of like Sovereign 6 or like a chill town, where like I think her name is not this big, so she can like kind of pregame. People are like, oh, she's only pregaming with me, because she's not known for being this like messy like player who makes all these deals and stuff.
Yeah.
I
think
she plays into the bias that people have of her early on.
Yeah, play for you.
And I think later that facade kind of cracks a little based off of like her smoking cigarettes. Like, I don't know if we'll talk about it, but Boogie and Dr. Will both make comments about her smoking. And I feel like it goes so against the grain of like who she was supposed to be, this girl next door, this good girl, blah, blah, blah. And I think that ultimately that character that she tries to play into in the beginning also causes her demise later on, because they feel more like bamboozled in a way, or just slighted by her differently because it seems like she's been
Yeah.
fake.
I've always said, like, and especially Farrah and Lee were talking about this when they wrapped up the season, is that Erika is an extremely defensive player, just in every sense of the word. Like, she's always setting her up so she'll make it far. I think Erika would make it far in any season, you guys. It's just like sometimes you have to make a move that's going to clinch you the win. And I think this is illustrated great in week 1 because let's say she enters the game pretty much aligned with everyone. She instantly gets close with Marcellus and Janelle as this sort of like outside shell to BB6. She's kind of protected on all fronts because she's also got Chilltown protecting her on the other side because she's dating Boogie. And she's able to use this position to kind of control this eviction vote. So in case you guys missed it, during week 1, when Allison and Danielle are locked on the block, there is a flip. There is a flip composed by like Boogie and Diane who try to get Allison to stay this week to go after BB6. But because Erika's in the middle of it and she is able, pretty much her and Janelle are able to flip the votes back in favor of Allison going home. And Erika's the one that tells Boogie, hey, plan aborted. Allison's going home this week. Don't do it because otherwise you're going to be an outcast like Nokomis and Diane. So I actually give Erika a lot of credit this week. How do you guys feel? It's not really shown on the episodes.
Yeah,
How integral she is this week.
yeah, I think it's probably the best for her because especially if her and Allison, like if you don't think that relationship can be mended in the long term,
Yeah.
like it's kind of like Marcellus doesn't do, like where Danielle does stay. She's able to get her biggest op out of the game, and if Allison gone, she kind of has like a free ride for most of the game because no one's actively going at her for at least the jury phase.
Yeah.
I think it's unfortunate to see what a powerful player she's in the beginning to see what happens later. Because if this is how you play week 1 and you literally position yourself in the middle to again squander it is insane to me. Like, and I don't know. We'll get to other weeks, but it's unfortunate.
Let's just say she has some good momentum going, you know?
Yeah.
But again, it's like little moves when she needs it and it's effective, so it's great. But again, we don't see too much from Erika. She hasn't shown her cards quite yet. And in fact, she doesn't really this week either. So she's still doing her thing, still close with all sides of the house. Kesa wins HOH. We've talked through this a million times. Erika is pretty much safe throughout this entire week. And in fact, she gets to prove herself to BB6 somewhat as a valuable player because she wins this veto. And this is a great veto for her to use because she gets to lock in Kesa's awful nominations, keep Boogie and Will on one side, keep her alliance with BB6 on this other side. They're also happy that she's like kind of working with them by winning this veto. Nokomis goes home. Erika's always been on board to send Nokomis home. It's a good week for Erika again.
Yeah. And this kind of, I think this is Erika's the type of player who really benefits when there's more people in the house because she's good at just like, not like,
that's a good point.
Maybe not like threat management is the right word because she isn't a threat, but she kind of blends into the house and everyone feels like they have Erika like, to a certain degree.
Wait, but to add on to that, one thing about Erika is that she's good at comms, you know?
She is.
It's interesting that she's able to have that because she was good on comms on BB4. So it's interesting that like she's able to mitigate that threat level quite well, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's something interesting about in this week, for example, Erika does not need to win power.
No.
But there are weeks in the game that I feel like if you were to win power and be able to show your worth and not get any backlash, it's a week where you don't owe anything to anyone on the block. So like this, for example, is a great week for her to win because she doesn't get blowback from anyone, not even the nominees, because she doesn't owe them anything. They don't feel entitled to her winning. Where there are other weeks that she will win where people will feel much slighted by her because they felt like, I don't want to say entitled is the choice of, maybe that's the wrong word, but they feel like maybe they're owed given the transactions within the house up until that point. So I think there are pros to winning comps that you don't necessarily need to win. But I think she benefits a lot from having a Janelle in the house. If Janelle was not in the house, I think she would have been, her threat level would have been elevated a little bit more.
Do you think it would have been like she would have been the woman on that side? Like I hate to use that verbiage, but do you think?
I think at the end of the day, if you are the person who is winning competitions, unless it seems like someone's manipulating you, which is also a rough place to be. You have to be the one people go after because they go, well, you're the one who can win competitions and stifle my journey or my progress. So I think if Janelle goes, right, season 6 is obviously less of a target, and she becomes the winner because or like the most winningest player after Janelle, isn't she? This
In
season,
terms of what?
After this, I think
like
she only
in
wins
terms
3
of
comps.
competitions.
Oh, in terms of competition wins,
She only
I
wins
would guess
3.
She's
yeah.
second highest, no?
It's her or
She
Boogie.
wins. Oh, she wins one HOH. She wins that fake. She wins the HOH that later gets dethroned. She wins like a few vetoes.
She wins
She wins
2.
a few vetoes. She has
She only wins 2.
technically
Really? It
she's
feels
got HOH. She puts
Because
Danielle
she's
up.
nominated a lot.
Oh, and it's also because she throws a bunch of them. Remember the spider web? Like she could have
Yeah.
easily won that.
Oh yeah, that's a good
And
point.
the
That
part
to
one of the
me-
HOH competition, yeah.
That to me shows that she probably would have been the comp beast of this season, if you
Yeah.
will.
Yeah, because
So
she
I
came runner up in OTEV as well.
Correct. So I
To
think
Janelle.
she ends up being that target. So while like she does mitigate it, I think it's because there are just too many bigger targets above her. If anything, I don't feel like she does active work for people to be like, oh, I don't think Erika's that good of a comp threat. I think she just benefits from Janelle being in the house.
She also benefits from, I don't know if you know, but in the food comp this week, Will injures her ribs, and she's like in pain for like half the week. So maybe, and while in pain, she wins the veto. So I gotta
Hey.
kind of give her a little bit of respect. That is impressive.
Yeah.
So
I see why Peter stands now. Let me stop him.
well,
Lord.
let's not go too far, Peter. Peter is with Erika in spirit, I will say. This podcast, because I was gonna say us, but like I don't know if he is. Also, Erika is for Boogie's birthday. They do this display with the whipped cream. For me, I'm like, you guys aren't really hiding your showmance here, but like no one talks about it since, so maybe it doesn't matter. I just thought it was.
What I
interesting to
thought was
talk about.
strange is he's talking about how he wants to fuck Diane. Okay, call it Diana or whatever. Call that like misdirecting the audience. I don't. You guys, I'll save that thought for later. Like genuinely, like the more I'm thinking about
Okay.
them like doing that shit is so weird.
For
But
me,
like,
it's their game. Erika.
I
Fox was-
would have made sure that like if you're gonna pretend that that's the girl you're into, Erika, why don't you get her to put the whipped cream on? Right. Like
Have we
makes
ever? We gotta start thinking outside the box. Have we thought the conclusion that Boogie and Erika are swingers? Okay, this might be all fair game. Like,
Well,
this
we
could
know
be
who
good.
Boogie truly has feelings for, and it's
That's why
not.
that opens up the swingers theory much more. It's
Not
like
Erika or
that
Diane.
double date alliance was not reserved to just the two
Yeah.
other romances. All right.
All right. Okay. So we move on to week 3. Again, like, oh, bathtub situation going on. Erika's just kind of again doing the same thing. I think this is an okay week for Erika. She's saying to James, go on, go target Chicken George. Because why the fuck does Erika care if James wastes a week on Chicken George? If anything, that's good for her. Keeps Chilltown in the game, another side she can bounce to, another side so it's distracted from her. She encourages it. And when George wins the veto, she's like on board with getting Jace out. Jace has got to go because obviously the alternative is Boogie going home. And Boogie, as we'll come to establish, is like Erika's biggest strength in the game. This connection to Boogie, a direct connection to Chilltown, who are essentially running the game, is great for her. And then as soon as Jace is up on the block, Erika is right with Boogie. Jace is going. We're keeping Will for my connection to Chilltown. And I know we say like Chilltown, keeping in Will, come on. How good can that necessarily be? Right? But at least for Erika's POV, you know, it does. If it's worth severing this, it's not worth severing the bond with Mike, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think Erika needs to split up Showtime at some point, but this is way too early to do it for her
Yeah.
specifically. Everyone else who talked about how this is a dumb move, like why didn't you just take out Will? But for her, I get it because like they're the power duo of the season that are going to protect you. At least on paper, they're going to protect you because sometimes they
Yeah.
don't want to.
Do you have any comments?
Yeah.
Mike?
I mean, I agree. I don't think it's in her best interest of getting rid of Will this week at all. I don't know. It benefits her, I guess. and I'll move on.
Okay.
Not really, I
You're
wanna waste
waiting.
that energy.
You're waiting.
I'm holding it in.
Okay. So coming into week 4. So Janelle is all over the place with this HOH. She tells Erika that she's safe. And in Erika and Janelle's defense, that was true. Until basically Janelle makes the deal with Chilltown. She says, I need to nominate you against a pawn just so I can fake the nomination or whatever and pull you off. And she basically at the last second chooses Erika as the pawn because of what Diane does. Last minute because she needs to put someone up so she can put whoever next to Erika and send her home. So essentially Erika is never the target this week. But she is put on without Janelle's without warning. So when she is put up, Erika's like, okay, Janelle, I'm willing to be fake and be your friend this week. But moving forward, I am absolutely not part of BB6 anymore. I've got to find guidance elsewhere. And this is when she moves over to like Danielle and Chilltown of it all. And I kind of think this is fair. Like, as far as this week, because she's still having BB6 believe that she's with them. And I think it's fair to have doubts with them.
Yeah.
Because I'm sorry, but to flash forward, BB6 gets so betrayed by her later. I'm like, you nominated her on the block. Like, I'm sorry, you ruined this relationship with her. That's how I feel.
Yeah, and I think she's this. Like, it's weird to say 'cause she's on the block, but this is one of her better weeks played. Where like
She's
not
never in danger.
Yeah, she's always safe. Everyone's
Mhm.
gonna keep her, as we see. Like the moment Diane goes up, it goes, okay, yeah, we can't keep you because we all
everyone
like Erika
promised Erika
more.
their votes. Yeah.
So she plays this really well, and at this point, her and Marcellus are like a locked-in duo now, right? At this point,
Yes, she's extremely
Yeah.
close to Marcellus at this point.
Yeah.
Which explains the jury vote.
The vote, no plural.
I will say I will say she looks very pretty in these pictures. Beautiful gown, beautiful gown.
But yeah, she has no trouble staying against Diane. We're moving into week 5.
Oh, I did have one thing to say. This is the start of Erika is the pawn because she gets the most nominations during this whole season. I'm pretty sure. So she's usually that pawn because she's never in danger.
I know that's right. So we get to week 5. And again, Erika easily could have won this HOH, but she throws it to Danielle. I don't know how I think about this. Erika is 100% safe with Danielle, no question.
Yeah.
However, no question, Erika is in a class above everyone else in endurance because she would have easily won this. And the whole house knows that at this point. And she also threw it to Danielle, who's also going to make a massive move that BB6 are going to be mad at. So they also resent her for this as well. And I'm in two minds about this because Danielle really pigeons herself through this HOH, which is a situation that Erika didn't want to be in. And again, I don't blame Erika for being slighted by BB6 because they nominated her, but they just resent her so much for this. Like, do you think there's a way she could have gone around this better?
I don't know if she necessarily needed. You know what? Maybe this is a hot take. And I'm willing to change my mind. But I don't know if she necessarily needed to throw this competition. I would have honestly, like if she would have won this and put up Janelle, oh my god, I just need a pawn. I just need a pawn. Like you put me up, so I just need a pawn. And it's like one other person. And you clearly don't care that much about Chicken George. So you could have easily, you know what I mean? Like she could have won this or whatever. The issue with Erika is that she has no move. She has no moves.
Defensive all the time. Perhaps if she did take the HOH, made a move, that could help with the jury prospect in the future.
That's what I was going to say.
And that's what I'm saying. There are optimal weeks for players to win competitions. And like I said, her winning POV with the Nokomis and Diana week works out great for her because it's like she's a power player. She's making people happy. At this point in time, had she won the HOH and said, well, I need a pawn, Janelle can't really get mad at her for that, right?
Exactly.
Like you can't get mad. And that would have been an optimal week for her to win. Like the less people are in the house, if you're going to play the middle, like it's more beneficial for you to make your moves in the beginning and winning. Cause then you can say, well, I did these moves in the beginning to set myself for this point in the end game. Whereas like towards the end, she can't really win competitions because then she has to pick a side and she clearly cannot unless she's manipulated to do so.
Yeah.
Yeah, this isn't my player comparison for her, but I think something like on Big Brother 26, Cam never went to competition, so he never really gets respect by in the house or in the
Mhm.
jury. If Erica wins this competition and she's the one to break up level 6, she has, even though level 6 will be after, not level 6, season 6 will be after, she will still
Yeah.
have some respect for the rest of the season as you're the one who took the shot at season 6. And I think if Janelle's the one who stays, because Janelle ends up winning veto this week, that will Janelle's level-headed. We've seen her the rest of the season that she can work with someone when she needs to work with them. She won't be pigeonholed on Erika for the rest of the season. So I think that she could have benefited a lot from winning this. If it's like, say, the same results in Kaser goes, I think it would have still worked out for her.
I get her apprehensiveness, but again, this is like you're showing your cards more than you realize, I think, in this instance.
Because if not now, when?
Agreed.
I also think like we're not
think
there
she can
yet.
float, and as soon as you're put on the block, no, time to switch it up. If you continue this, it's like once is fine and you were completely safe, but you again and again you could be used if you don't make a fuss about it, you know.
Oh.
Like I remember in BB27, I remember people talking about how like Will, when he was put on the block, he put up a massive fuss about it to the point where people were like, this isn't a pawn we can use anymore because I know I'm actually going to make him upset. And that really worked. I don't know if it was intentional, but it's the opposite of what happened to Erika. And like Drake said, she's been used as the pawn again and again and again this season. So
yeah, I think she gets used as a pawn more than Chicken George. It's like, okay, we got a problem here. Like, why is Chicken George not being the default pawn?
Crazy, which is crazy. Like to me, George is the pawn. Like that's who you want to put.
George doesn't move from the block,
and that's what I'm saying, because he can fight for the veto all he wants. Whatever, go on slot for 60 days. Okay, cool. But like genuinely, no one was gonna vote to evict George.
Well, a target this good, I mean, a player this good has to go home eventually, right?
Anyway, so for the rest of the week, Danielle still does consider Erika very close to her. She's like, she gets told about all the plan, the James decoy nomination, etc. James is mad that Erika is included in this, but Danielle trusts her too much, and she says, "I need Erika. I need to build trust with her." So she's got that connection. Keep a pin in that. When Kaser is on the nomination block at the end, remember everyone pushes for Marcellus. Erika doesn't want this, obviously. She and Marcellus are close. Kaser goes up as she wants. And although Kaser tries to get her to keep her, she's not, because James, again, Janelle is after her bad at this point, so is Howie. And Kaser is much more attached to Janelle and Howie than James is, who James is also pissed at them. But my thing is, like, I'm in two minds about this. If you kept in Kaser, Erika, maybe Kaser could have gotten in Janelle or Howie's ear and been like, maybe not Erika, maybe someone else. But do I think Kaser would have done that? Hell no. So it's like,
I don't think so. I also think say if Howie or James goes this week instead of Kaser, I think there's a world where like when season 6 starts getting actually like disseminated, and like if Kaser's one of the last remaining, he just goes to Erika at that point. Like say if he's the last season 6 person, it's like, okay, I guess I'll just work with Erika. Like he doesn't, if he doesn't quit because he doesn't want to be there. Like,
okay, let's actually, to your point, right? Let's talk about. I hate to go back to the HOH, but all roads lead to this HOH competition for this week. If Erika would have wanted to win, she wouldn't have made no fucking deals with Howie. I'm sorry. She was like this. I'm sleep. Like I'm sleep. Like she would not have had to make any deals. Danielle had to make a deal because she couldn't hold on that much longer. I think she could have beat Howie, I think. But that one time where she almost slipped and she had to you know what I mean? Like, so let's say
Erika was 100% winning.
That's what I'm saying. In this world, Erika wins. She doesn't have to make no deals. She was gonna win.
Right.
She could have gone after Howie. Like, do you get what I'm saying? Like, Howie could have gone home. In a world where Janelle wins POV still in this world, this scenario, if she's that variable stays the same. Instead of putting Kaser up, we get Howie up. Howie goes home. Do you get what I'm saying?
That's
so like, I'm just saying, like,
it's again making a move. It's like stop being defensive, go on the offensive for once in a while. Is that what you're saying?
That's what I'm saying. But it's also like losing Kaser, in my opinion, this week did more harm than good, because at least Kaser had her. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if there's that many people who truly had her and she felt very like that it was reciprocal.
Yeah.
Or reciprocated rather. And losing Kaser, while he's not the best player, he's someone in your corner. So like, I feel like she lost someone she could have benefited keeping.
Real.
Yeah, because also say if Howie and Kaser just swap spots, that puts Howie on pre-jury and Kaser and jury. That gives her at least one more person in the jury house that will advocate for her other than Marcellus.
Yeah.
And I think this
Yeah.
is what good players think about. Who do you want in the jury phase? You want if you know there's someone who doesn't like you, like not even on a game level, they don't like me on a personal level. I can't have you in the
gotta
jury. I
go.
need to do everything in my power to make sure you're
Right.
pre-jury. And even if it's just like we have a decent relationship, I want you in the jury because you might advocate for me at that point. So,
Great points. But alas, Kaser goes home and we move into week 6.
Right.
Flashback, basically, Erika and Mike are basically coming out with their showmance at this point. It doesn't really have too many ramifications. So I'm just going to move past
I
that.
just got Rabina and Tucker flashbacks when like the feeds came back from like the halfway party and they were making out in front of everyone. And they were like, did they just reveal they're in a showmance? That's an all-time live
soft
feed
launch,
moment.
I guess. Who knows? I mean, Janelle and Will are kind of together, and that's probably the bigger threat. So
Yeah.
they make it a little further. So Erika wins the HOH. Yay! She's
Oh,
going to
yeah.
nominate Janelle and Howie. One of them's going to go. It's going to be fine. Oh, wait. Yeah, those buzzers malfunctioning got you, gal, because we're going to redo it. Janelle's going to win the HOH. And up on the block you go against Danielle as the backup target. Again, like, this is great. However, does it work out? Kind of. Because what happens is Danielle is thrown the veto. And then Chilltown kind of go into save Erika mode. Erika also is saying, hey, Marcellus, you are my best friend. You are my best ally. However, I am going to be okay with you going up because if you go up, I know I for sure have the votes to stay. He goes up and she absolutely does. She tries making some deal with Janelle about how they're going to protect each other moving forward for her to get on board with getting rid of Marcellus this week. However, it is fruitless. There's no point. Marcellus was always going at this point.
Yeah. She loses her number one ally, but at least she's able to like kind of. I think this is some good work she does. She's like, okay, my number one ally is leaving. I'm gonna position myself to like fully with Chilltown now and Danielle.
And she gets into Operation Double Date, right?
Yes.
This is a Final Four. Would you say? I think Chilltown take this more seriously than Legion of Doom because they have more influence. Like Danielle's a married woman. And what they're going to do with a James who is so untrustworthy. They start to pivot to this, whatever this is. They all get in the shower together. So Erika is in a better position at this point, I suppose.
Yeah.
Get in with the power players, defensive.
This is kind of like the start of like Erika's in a good long-term position, but I don't know if she's in a winning position still.
Who does she beat at this point? I think she beats Howie and has a shot against George.
Yeah.
At this point. So
all right, let me talk about this week. I genuinely, once again, she loses someone who's an ally to her. For what? For
her safety, to be fair. It was her or him.
No, here's why I'm like, you should have just won last week. Like, for her to be put up on the block against Danielle, you might as well have played. Like, I get throwing a competition to Danielle, but like Danielle's okay. If we're being real, if we watch the competitions, Danielle's always maybe second, and like the thinking comps or the ones about knowing your house guests or stuff like that. Like Danielle almost beats Chicken George in this previous HOH against Janelle. I think it's her and Janelle in the final.
Yeah, and she nearly beats James week 3. She's a runner-up.
She is always so close. Erika, you don't got that many competitions like that are like strategic. Every Sunday night episode, a lot of the episodes are those like quick thinking comps. And Danielle does so well in these. I wish they had an honest conversation about what their strengths and weaknesses are. You want me to do an endurance? I know that's my freaking weakness. So what, like if I know you and I are good and there's a chance that a competition not to better for me and for me to win could be this one, like I just wish that she would have won this, because I think then Janelle feels closer to Marcellus. Like in this world, right?
Yeah.
And she feels closer to Marcellus because she's lost Howie. And so it's Marcellus takes Howie's spot. We have Kaser still in this world as well. And both Danielle and Erika, like Kaser, like it's just again like this week. Like I just feel like again, all roads lead to this, and I understand that she didn't put Marcellus on the block, but at the end of the day, her switching her positioning from going to the middle to more on the extreme side to only benefit Chilltown is in fact crazy.
Yeah, but again, it's like once you've done this throwing HOH move, I guess she's still playing defensively and doing the best she can. But like you're saying, it's like this is why you have to take shots in Big Brother. Like we were talking about this just now in the BB27 retrospective. Like the best HOHs were the people who made a move, and the people who played defensively always lost an ally. So, you know, everyone's just so scared to make enemies, and that's not the way you win Big Brother.
And the thing is, even if you can't control losing Marcellus, right? You were in a hot tub with Janelle. If I'm gonna come for Janelle for this, I'm gonna have to come to Erika for this as well, because it takes two to tango. Why the hell are you in showers, making out together, doing God knows what with God knows who, in hot tubs, whispering, kikiing with a man, blah blah blah, and you guys can't solidify allyship? You guys can't solidify an alliance. That to me is weird. Like you are doing crazy intimate stuff, but you guys can't align in a game.
Yeah.
The whole reason you're here, the whole reason why you got a second chance. Like I'm not even conservative for real. But this to me is like really weird, because it's like you just are being so like, oh, like I'm gonna depend on Mike now. I'm gonna depend on Mike. You are still a player in this game. You are in a position now where you're being put in this 4 alliance. Why would you not then go to the other girl and work that relationship from this week? Why does it take you so many weeks until you're almost at the end of the game and you're done, and you both will already look like Boo Boo the Fool, for it to clock into you that maybe you should be working together? Like that to me is weird. Like this week you're gonna lose. You've already just lost Kaser. You're clearly gonna lose Marcellus. Why are you not putting in work to be good with Janelle, who's clearly winning competitions?
Yeah, there's really no reason her and Janelle don't have a final 2, like from this point in the game.
Yeah, like if Will and Boogie clearly have one, we're gonna have one too.
That's all. Even if it's fake in your opinion, have the words out there. Have the words final 2.
This reminds. Sorry, carry on.
I was gonna say, because even if it's a fake final 2 from your perspective, the moment they went any type of power, everything about coming from you, you don't remember our final 2. You don't remember what we had. Like you just bring that up and be like, oh yeah, you're right. We are an alliance. Like
this might not be the best example, but this reminds me of BB Can 1, where like the boys had that Quattro alliance, and I remember Jillian spoke to Liza or something. Like obviously this does not work out either, but she's like, we're gonna also have something on the side. Yep. So might as well strengthens the alliance, and it makes it stronger in my opinion. So why not? You know, but again, like, so George wins the next HOH, and up Erika goes as a pawn again. She does. James wins the veto, his original target. So Erika goes into overdrive, building this relationship with Chicken George, which, I mean, he does seem receptive to. I'll give him that. Whatever. But Janelle, but when he's receptive to it enough where George tells Erika what his plan is. He tells Erika about Will wanting to go up as a pawn, which is good. I can give her credit for this, because this is what gives her the piece of information to save her. She finds out that Will's going up against the pawn, so she tells Boogie, and then Boogie is able to get George to put up Howie instead, pretty much, by threatening to use the coup. Erika does persuade George herself to do this, but this is the move it takes for her to stay this week. And then Boogie also fights to keep her in the vote, so Howie goes home.
Yeah, I
guess like on paper this is good. Howie leaving is good for her, but also how many people can she beat in the end? At this point, she has to go to the end with George, so at least she made an agreement with him.
Yeah, I think I'll talk more about this week when we get to Boogie, because I think it's more interesting from his perspective.
Yeah,
but she is kind of just like in survival mode at this point, and it's like I don't think she's actively thinking about who she can beat at the end, because from my memory, she truly thinks she beats everyone. Like I think that's how she's viewing the game.
I don't understand that.
Erika, like,
because she's nicer, I guess.
Okay, Erika this week frustrates me because it feels like she's like, oh my god, now that I'm at risk, I'm gonna start kissing your ass, and it feels weird. Like, why didn't you put in the work? You are in this house, right? You are on the block so many times. It gives you every green light for you to go to every single individual in this house left and talk game with them to position yourself in a better position, or put yourself in a better position. Why is it that you are always on the verge of being in trouble, and that's when you wake up to your common senses. Why are we not being active? Why are we not thinking ahead? Why are we not positioning ourselves? That's what I
It's
mean.
week
Like
by
that,
week. Yeah.
the week one stuff to me almost seems like whoops. Like it to me it feels like it wasn't done with actual intent, with actual um foresight in mind. Because every other week after that, it feels like she does nothing to position herself in a better place until she's like literally about to be on the block. And it
My
feels
my
weird.
thing
Yeah.
Like,
is,
why are you not?
I don't think the early weeks are a fluke, but I think what is happening here is just what if you just continue to play that same game you were playing in the beginning, eventually you're going to run out of people to hide behind, and you're going to have to start fending for yourself because you're not making the active moves to position yourself well in the end game.
Yeah, I
The
think
reason go for it.
I was gonna say I feel like we see this like a lot in players where it's like those first couple of weeks they look really good and really strong because they're positioning, and then you realize, oh, this isn't active. You kind of just like found yourself in this positioning, and I think in Big Brother last season on 27, we saw a little bit of Ava where I felt like Ava was like in the middle of the house. She was really like oh, is Ava like low key running things on the secret? But no, she kind of just found herself in this position and she never did anything with it. And I feel like Erica's very similar to that, where it's like she never really did anything with that positioning. And now look at it. Now she's like kind of like the pawn or backup target every week.
Yeah. I don't
And
know.
this
Maybe I'm just go. Sorry.
and this is why I think it's a fluke, to be honest with you, because I think if we look at Big Brother, the game, as a social experiment, if we really step outside ourselves for a moment and take into account the sociology and the elements of biases and social currency, like I talked about pretty privilege, I'm sure I'm going to talk about it during BB 28 because that's bound to happen. People get pretty privileged currency and get to pretty much do nothing. I think Erica kind of benefits from this, but also the bias of people viewing her as a girl next door. And that's why everyone almost like inherently trusts her. But I don't think she really did anything to get to that position. Like, oh yeah, she was more sneakier than James, or is it because people assume that James is like a rat? Like, do you get what I'm saying? Like, if they're doing the exact same thing, like, why does she get that benefit? Well, I think there's an element of like who she looks like, what she represents, and things like that, or people this idea of Erica in their minds. That's why
Yeah.
to me it doesn't feel like, because if you were really putting yourself in the middle, you would have actively week by week by week been like, okay, this side is looking a little empty, so I'm being shifted more to this way. What can I do to position myself back here? Right? Like, what can I do to do that again? And she doesn't do that. And we see that week to week to week because she's so like, she almost plays a bit passively. She waits until someone does something to her, or she's
So
scared someone.
reactive gameplay instead of
Exactly.
active, it's reactive.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
and not actively going out of her way to think like what is the worst case scenario.
So she's not a very open-minded player. It's very much week by week. It's never the big picture.
Yes. And
So
Yes.
it's like, and it's always like a cheap, like, to be fair, give her credit. She does like scramble to survive week after week after
Yes.
week, but she's never in a position of agency where she can shake the game up to a position where she can win.
Yeah, I feel like that strategy works much better on Survivor than it does Big Brother because of how long
Agreed.
Big Brother is. Because like on Survivor, it's really we're going round by round, like day by day. And at some point, fuck it, I'm in the final 3 now because we've been going day by day. Big Brother, we're really going 7 days, 7 days. It's like if everyone
Yeah.
else is thinking long term but me, it's like okay, like what are we doing here?
And that I know that you're doing the BB27 retrospective, so I'm curious to see if this was what was talked about. But I felt like watching that season, there was a lot of conversations about who do I want on my jury, like way more than we have typically seen, in my opinion. Like I
Yeah.
feel like everyone was actively talking about, I want these people on my jury. I want these people on my jury. I don't know if people thought about it that much in the old BB days, but like we mentioned, having Kaser in the jury gives her better odds, at least maybe getting a second vote, depending on who she's sitting against. Having Marcellus on the jury, but she's not doing that with that, like, okay, well, this is a guaranteed vote. She's thinking that she's hot shit and that she's playing the game really well. So it doesn't matter who's in jury, which is wrong. And that to me shows that she's a little delusional as well.
Oh, she's quite delusional, especially towards those end weeks. Oh god, she thought she was maybe winning 4-3 against Boogie. which was interesting.
That's called
Um,
cope, not delusional. That's called cope. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so moving on. Boogie wins the next HOH, which means Erika is perfectly safe. However, again, it's like Boogie basically sends home James, who thinks he's a pawn. Erika's, again, I'm happy with James going home. I just feel like if you made an alliance with James, and because you also have this link with Danielle and Boogie, if that became a thing, or you could keep that, you become like one of the best positioned in the house. James might be a person you could have worked over, and yes, he is a threat, and he has to go at some point. I just think, like, again, you're in a position where you're used as a pawn again and again, where you're having to fight. I feel like maybe this could have been a move to your benefit.
Yeah, I think early
Send
on,
home, yeah.
honestly, early on we talked about how she shouldn't have sent home, like she should have sent home Jace over Will. At this point, we're getting to the point where it's like, okay, you need to split up Chilltown. Like, keep Boogie, but like try to convince other people to take out Will. Like, I know Boogie wins HOH this week, but she needs to get to the point where it's like she needs someone else to take out Will.
Yeah, is George gonna be that person? No.
No. Well, he should
But
have
then
known
again,
the
like,
one.
sorry to interrupt. Sorry, I keep doing that, but like,
Yeah.
this is a tricky position because although I just named out the advantages of keeping James, he's up on the block against George, who might be your only shot at a jury vote at this point. So
Yeah.
you just kind of put yourself in this tricky position where you're like, you can't even better your game anymore because the alternative is losing. And it's because it probably links back to that week 5 web HOH, like you said.
I think the issue here is if you can't control who is going out the door, at least try to control their perception of you. Like, at least. And this is where she fails, right? Like, Howie leaves and it's not like she didn't technically put him up. She didn't betray him, but he's not fucking with her when he leaves. Like, all these people keep leaving except for Marcellus. And it's like she does nothing to better her positioning and I like, even jumping ahead a little bit, but even James's comment about how he leaves, right? He's like, one of you told me it was strategy, the other one was just blaming everyone else. That is her issue. It's even if you can't control who's going, at least put in the work, especially if you're sitting beside them. To me, there's nothing better than sitting beside someone you want to go out and not having to take the blood on their hands for it. Because it's not your fault. You were sitting beside them. Why aren't you leveraging that? Like, why aren't you using that?
I think at this point in the game, you either have to be actively bettering your positioning or at least having really good like jury management. Like, how do these people leave the house liking you? And she somehow does neither. It's like, how are you doing neither of these things? I don't understand.
Again, yeah, I think it's just being short-sighted and not seeing the bigger picture. Again, but I think this is truly the gift of God. Like, she wins this HOH, and this is her last chance. She could do something in this game. She could send home Will, maybe get some jury votes from that. This is her last chance to do something to make a difference in the game, and it plays in the worst way possible.
She should have said, "Fuck a double date." Will
What
and
she
Janelle,
should have done,
we're
right?
going up.
Janelle, George on the block. You tell Janelle, I'm going to throw veto to you. I'm going to put up Will, and he's going home this week. That should have been, I feel like that is, because there's so few people left, this is just pretty much the best plan she could go for, right?
No, I think she should have. I think she should have put up. If we're being real, the idea of even putting Chicken George on the block doesn't sit well with me.
Oh, because okay.
Will and Janelle immediately, and she should have gone to Janelle and said, "Hey, you put me up that 1 week. Just know, sister, you're not my target, but I also don't want you using veto on Will." That's what I would have. That's what she should have done.
I keep forgetting that she can't beat anyone but George. I keep forgetting that. You're right.
Like, Boogie's gonna be. Oh, you can go. My fault.
No, go ahead.
I'll say, and Boogie's gonna be pissed at her, but we're at like final 6. Deal with it. Like, I don't know. So it's like we're at final 6. Deal with it.
And the thing is that she doesn't owe loyalty to Will. Boogie is not Will.
Yeah.
Like, he can be upset all he wants, but when Will goes, who do you have? Who do you have? Call it a lover's quarrel for all I care. It does not make any sense for her. Look at this house. Will has been the one person, aside from maybe Janelle, for her to position herself once again in the middle. That was the only thing she needed to do, is to get rid of that, to put herself in the middle. Because as we know, George doesn't trust Danielle as much. Do you get what I'm saying? If she wins HOH and doesn't put George on the block, it's like, oh my God, I love you. You care so much about me. It don't take much to please George. But it's a vote.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So this HOH was such a flop because even George comes into the jury house and is not even fucking with Erika. Chicken George. Like the pivotal week for her to win was that web. You now get power. You get to correct your mistakes. You get to do the move that puts you back into the middle. And you go after Chicken George and Janelle. Oh, girl.
Yeah, because I even think about in Steve and Big Brother 17, I don't know what his jury prospects were before, like the in-game stretch, but I know he didn't win much. But I think once he wins the HOH and he's the one that nominates like Austin and the twins, I think they're probably like, oh shit, like he's making the move of the season, you know? I feel like if you make the move against Will and Janelle, the jury's gonna, even if they didn't respect you before, they're like, oh shit, well, she's making the move. Like all it takes is one HOH to really switch how people perceive you.
And the thing is as well, is that if you do that move, right? Like Danielle's a loyal player. Let's like the people left in the house, they still have some moral code or a code of conduct. And one of Danielle's code of conducts is loyalty. Like she's a good player, but she's a loyal player as well. Mm-hmm. So you don't put up Danielle, you put those two up. Worst case scenario, you have to put Chicken George up. Say, Chicken George, I feel like I have no choice.
You put me up.
You put me up. Like, I wanted to show you that I have you, but I just feel like this is the best move in terms of making sure that these two go. But just know, because he's looking at her in that nomination going, you think I'm the best player? Like, he's clocking her fucking tea. So it's like she should have just done the move. And at the end of the day, Will goes. Or maybe not, because then Janelle and Boogie vote. So maybe Will doesn't go.
It's tricky. It's certainly tricky.
She should have just put the two of them up. And if anything, she should have put Boogie up. You're my pawn. He needs to go. Like, let's play the game.
Truly. But to summarize what does indeed happen is Erika puts up George and Janelle. Janelle's the target. Janelle wins veto because Chilton throw it to her. Oh, do they? Yeah, they do because they go extra long.
They do. And had she put him up, would they have thrown it to Janelle?
No, they wouldn't have. And what happens is they get Janelle up to make a fake deal with Erika for safety. Will makes a fake deal with Erika to safety. They say Danielle is the only jury threat you have left and she has to go at this point, and she buys into it. Tells White Women Tears, tells us, Danielle, you're going up. She goes off on her, but Erika hides in the HOH room with Will, and Danielle goes home this week.
I just don't get why she's reacting like this. Like, what did I do for her to be acting like this? Like, I don't understand. It's like, Erika.
It's just, Erika, this is so pathetic.
Like, if you're going to make this...
You've lost.
She's lost. Stand on the Danielle move. You have to at least stand on, like, Danielle, I'm putting you up because I can't beat you. That way, there's maybe Danielle can walk in the jury house and be like, okay, she thought she had to do it. But this way, Danielle just feels like, no, like, you're stupid. Like, you didn't really give me a reason.
She's lost the game.
Yeah.
All right.
She's a win.
Oh, this is what you've been waiting for 3 podcasts.
I've been waiting for this. What, Erika, do you stand for? Like, what do you stand for? When you get out of the house, not to be the moral police, not to buy yourself some dignity. Allison, true words haven't been spoken. What do you stand for? Not to go all Hamilton, but what do you stand for? Her putting up Danielle is probably one of the worst moves in Big Brother history. It literally does not serve her. It gets rid of her options getting to the end and makes Danielle a bitter juror. She can't even stand and own it, so it doesn't even look like her move. So what was the reason? What was the reason? It's baffling to me. I'm not saying that you have to be loyal to the very end at the end of the day, but you literally see two people who are literally your ops. They're in your way of winning, and you want to instead get rid of your best path to the end. One of your best paths to the end. Like, this is so strange. If she keeps Danielle looks like a bigger target than her. Why are you getting rid of your shield? Like, it also baffles me because, like, it's such rat behavior with no ownership. Like, it's so weird. I don't like white women tiers. I think they're very stupid. In the game of Big Brother, own your moves, do your shit, be entitled. If you are HOH, if you are veto and you don't use it or you use it or you do whatever, own it. It's so weird that this is the one time you have HOH power and this is how you use it. This is how you wield it. It's like she is very strange. She is very strange. It's not the move itself, it's the way she goes about it.
It's just weak, you know.
Yeah. It's weak as hell, and honestly, like, it's humiliating. Like,
It is, especially in
Erika,
hindsight.
at this point in time, Erika, I root for women. I really, 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 really do. But there's nothing more annoying than to watch a woman be used as an object, and it almost feels like they're submitting themselves to it. Because it's not her fault that they're saying stuff about her in the DR, calling her this, calling her that, whatever. But it feels like at one point, you need to own it. Like, you need to own your game. And she doesn't own it at all. She doesn't own the fact, like,
But what is there to own? Like, at this point, own that you're being pathetic. That's the only option for her.
If she owned that Boogie, she knew
She got
that
played.
Boogie was a power player, and she flirted her way up. And there are times where he played her, but at the end of the day, it was her who cut his final two at the end. It's her who ensured that he got her there, whatever. Like,
She took out Will, you know.
I
And-
truly think there's a way if she, let's say after Janelle wins veto and George are on the block, if she goes to Danielle, is like, look, Danielle, if I put a Will, he has the votes to stay. I don't need Chicken George going. I think between you and Chicken George, you are the bigger threat. You need to go. I think Danielle might be able to accept that. She might be okay with it. But like the fact that you're just like kind of giving her like this bullshit reason and like trying to like gaslight her to being like, this is why you're going up because of you. I don't know. It's like, you're dumb.
It's a wrap.
No one respects you.
But luckily, it catches up to her. Janelle wins the next HOH. Erika hits her initial target. She goes up against George. She wins the veto. Had she not won this veto, she would have gone home.
and
She
that
is
would have been
safe.
humiliating, by the way.
Yeah.
Come
She
on,
votes out
hilarious.
Chicken George, her only method of potentially winning, even though George would have beaten her at this point. George goes home. She saves Boogie. We go into the final four, right? Yeah. Now, Janelle is mad at Erika for not getting rid of Boogie at this point. She wanted her to evict Boogie so she could break the tie and send Boogie home. But, I mean, Erika might as well play for second. I don't know. I don't care. It's pointless at this point. Who cares? All right, so Boogie nominates Janelle, Erika for eviction. Janelle is his target, but who cares? Like, he has no power. So Erika's in the biggest danger this week. Should anyone besides herself win the veto? However, Janelle wins the veto, and I guess this is interesting. I do credit Erika far more for this move than Janelle, because I don't know. She was the main one who convinced her, I will say. However, again, it doesn't matter. But again, like, I know we get on Erika, and she made so many mistakes at this point. She does have the ability to work herself out of sticky situations when her back is against the wall. And I think that is the reason she's made it this long. Regardless, she's still not winning. But that's what I have to say.
This move like perfectly explains Erika as a player, because like we said, this move should have been done weeks ago, but she waits until the very moment she
When she
needs
has
this
to.
to have this move. So it's like this move
But
is
it's too late.
at least it gives us an iconic moment. Like, this is iconic in like Big Brother lore and history. She did eat this up, but you should have been eating for weeks now. You've been hungry for no reason. Like, what are we doing? The buffet's been open and you're still waiting for the guests to arrive. No, go get your plate. The people said they're an hour away. Like,
It's annoying because I did really get on Janelle for this, so I feel like I have to do the same thing for Erika. But imagine a world where they talk immediately about the fact that they were both put into Chilltown. That memory's fresh, right? Like,
Yeah.
oh, what did he say to you? Verbatim, this is what he said to me, vice versa. The way she could have navigated the game. She didn't have to be ride or die with Janelle's by no means. But why is it that you're waiting up until this point? Like, it's so frustrating to watch this passive gameplay. She relies way too much on Boogie, and she like it's if she didn't have Boogie in the house, I would hope she would be a little bit more active. Like, I would hope. I don't even know if I can even guarantee that.
Right.
I'm not saying she needs to evict Boogie because like that's one of her paths to the end, but it's like every path she has gets eliminated. She just spent the last week eliminating one of her only paths to the end, and now she's stuck. She literally put herself in a position where her only path at this point in the end. Because let's be real, Chicken George isn't winning a competition. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. He's not. You have Janelle, who is clearly crushing. You have Mike, who clearly knows his stuff as well. Like, to me, unless it's another competition about who's willing to sacrifice whatever, which is a great comp, by the way. I'm not going to knock that because he did his big one. He did his one. He did his one. That one y'all gave him. That was that 1 point y'all wanted to give to him. That was the one. That's it. Like, to me, it's very frustrating. It's very frustrating that it took this long and you're pretty much gonna be evicted. And that's when you reveal all the tea. Like,
yeah.
Like, congratulations for doing the bare minimum. I don't know.
She got to stay. So she swears to Janelle, final 2. On my mom, I'm taking you to final 2. She's lying. And this, that, and the other. She gets Janelle on board. She could have done this ages ago in the season, like we said. Final 2 with Janelle as soon as double date starts. We would have been nice. But alas. So Will goes. She wins part 1 of the HOH. I guess Boogie's distracted. Yeah, on accident. She would have won that anyway, let's be real. There's no way.
If she wanted to win.
I don't know. One thing about Janelle, she will fight, though. That's the thing. Like, I don't know.
There's no way she can beat Erika in
endurance. I'm no shade. Only doing this. It's not like they were hanging against gravity. They're doing this. I think Janelle could have done her big one. I do. She was hungry. One thing about Janelle, she's hungry. She wants the win.
That's
Erika, to me, like, she's kind of like, I'm going to the final 2 regardless.
She is.
I feel like she wouldn't have fought to get that part 1 as much as Janelle would have.
I think she would have fought harder because her plan was to throw part 3. So
yeah, she was. And that happens. Boogie wins part 2. Erika's back up with Boogie. I don't think the final 2 with Janelle was ever serious. She was always going to take Boogie to final 2. Throws part 3 of the HOH to Boogie. He evicts Janelle. It's her and her boyfriend in final 2. This is the way the jury's set up. If you don't know, Howie's bitter against Boogie. Danielle is actually weighing out the options, although I think she leans Boogie. Because she goes very bitter, but come the jury roundtable, she seems to have calmed down a little bit. And George is George. So it's really just, what can you get? And spoiler alert, all 3 of these votes go to Boogie. So,
yeah.
She loses 6-1.
Yeah, I don't know if we're gonna go into specifics, but her she's an all-time terrible like final 2, like questionings and answering. Like, she's really bad.
The one thing I like is that she spun. This is her one argument I liked, that she said, hey, I took out Will, who is the puppet master, the best player of this game. Would you rather vote for the person who got rid of him or vote for the person that followed him the entire time? I like that, but again, it's too late. Like, you're spinning, you're doing your best, but there's nothing to spin, really.
Like, you're the one who followed the person who followed him, so it's like you're just in traffic now.
Right.
I think you can go, Josiane.
No, go for it.
I was gonna say, like Mary said in the chat earlier, I don't know where the message was. I do think if she wins this final part and takes Janelle, she maybe has an argument of people being anti-Janelle and it's her being like, I'm the one who did Chinatown. That was me specifically. I think then she has a way.
True.
Like,
Chinatown ran this game and they are out of this game because of me.
Yeah.
Granted, I still think she loses.
I think it's at least close. I think she at least gets more than 1 vote at that point, depending on how bitter Boogie is.
It's more respectable. And here's my thing. She fears the Bechdel test. The Bechdel test fears her. Erika, this whole season has been so male-centered. It's so annoying. Because why is it that you want to throw part 3 HOH? Why? This is the one moment for you to stand and own something. Earn something. Fight your way there. And you're throwing it to Boogie? Another win under his belt? Like, it's so strange, Erika. It's so strange. Like, this gameplay, to me, I don't get it. I don't get it. And I'm not going to sit here and pretend to get it because you're so passive. You're throwing final HOH. You can't even stand and own the move of bringing Boogie to the end, which, mind you, is crazy. It's crazy. You know that Chilltown ran this whole season. You said it yourself. And yet you want to sit and throw the final HOH to Boogie
Well,
to not
she
get
loses
blood
either
on her
way.
hand? That's so weird. It's so weird. Why are you worried about the blood? Why are you worried about the blood? And if Boogie is bitter at the move, he's a hypocrite. Because you've done this entire game. You expect to be crowned the winner, but you can't respect your girl for doing the exact same thing. You've been calling her a hoe and a whore and all these other things under your breath the entire time. If she would have cut you and you wouldn't have given her a vote, you would have looked more embarrassing if anything. Like, it's so Erika, oh my god, like I can't fight for someone who doesn't want to fight for themselves. It's weird.
Yeah, in Boogie's defense, I do think he is a hypocrite, so his argument does work because I do think he might just be a hypocrite. But yeah, it would have been weird. But I don't know why she did. It's like I know
she loses either way. The point, like, I know we're
would it not be more powerful to stand there with Janelle? Like, wouldn't it have been more sickening in that
two
moment?
women at the end on
Like,
BB All Stars?
Yeah,
we got rid of these men that called us homances and talk trash about us.
And it's so weird because you go to Janelle and you preach and you preach and you preach all of these things to save your butt, and you can't believe it. You can't stand in it. Like, come on, girl. Like, you have, like, it's unfortunate, but there is no, like, there's nothing there for me. Like, even her arguments to me fall on deaf ears because instead of getting rid of Chilltown, if that's your whole argument, why did you throw the part 3 to the Chilltown member? Like, at the end of the day, he's still Chilltown.
It's a chop.
Yeah, I think once we like get more and more to these game reviews, there's always gonna be like one person in Final 3 where like, why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do that? But at the end of the day, they're losing. So it's like it's because they have made so many mistakes before they got there.
Even if you're losing, okay, like, let's talk about legacy. Like, maybe it's the Big Brother fan in me. Maybe people just don't care because it's their second time. I don't know. But at the end of the day, if you aren't going to win, the only thing you'll have, except for the second place prize, is your legacy, the game you played, the impact you had, the moves that you did that you can stand on. And you want to stand on the fact that you threw part 3 HOH? Like, that to me is strange. It's strange.
Because it would have been different if she just lost. But she does throw this. Like, it's insane that she throws it.
Your whole argument
later denies it. I don't believe so.
Your whole argument becomes nothing because you are literally doing what Chilltown wants.
And that's a wrap for Erika. So we get to put our Ethanamel hats on now, and we get to talk about how Mike Boogie won Big Brother 7. So he comes into the game with a showmance with Erika, bunch of pre-game alliances, but a very public alliance with Will. He comes into the game, it's Chilltown till the end, very public. And weirdly, they play into this very well, I would say. He lays low for the beginning of week 1, instead building up relationships. I remember he gets close to Diane, to Jace, to Nokomis, to Erika, obviously. He talks to pretty much the other side of the house that isn't BB6 very well. And now once Allison and Danielle are locked in on the block, Boogie's one of the main proponents to try and get Allison to stay. Of course, as we have established, the votes do go that way at one point. They are successful. However, Erika gets Marcellus to flip back, who flips back George, and Erika tells Boogie the votes aren't there. Danielle goes home. Again, I'm happy with the flip. I'm glad that you went for it. It didn't work out, which would have been better for you, but that's fine. You do have a great relationship with Danielle anyway. And I like that you building relationships. I think this is how a winning game would start. Do you agree?
Yeah, I think as we go through here and talk about this, I think what's reported throughout time, Boogie is a really good social player. Like, obviously, he has moments where he gets on people's nerves and they find him obnoxious. But at the end of the day, he's really good at just having like these like one-on-one conversations and getting to know people. He's also very active about it. Like, he goes out of his way to make sure he kind of like talks to everyone that day. Like, he is pretty good at it. It's weird that he's able to do this and still have such a public relationships with Will and Erika.
Well, Erika's not public yet, but
Yeah,
by
but
week 6, yeah. It's
I
official.
think Boogie and Erika are kind of opposites in the sense that while Erika is in the position and she's done nothing really to do that in her own merit and keep that position, Boogie actively is thinking about, even though he doesn't get his way this week, Erika does. Again, opposites. Boogie is actively trying to find ways to be in the middle because his whole argument in keeping Allison is, well, Allison's gonna go after these people and they're gonna focus their energy on Allison. Versus like if we just keep I forget who was beside her.
Danielle.
Danielle. Like
She's
she's
attached to James, yeah.
kind of good with everyone. Like she's not really actively, because she starts kissing up to season 6. Well, I don't want to say kissing up, but working that relationship. So she's not going after them actively. So Boogie and Will's strategy this entire season is to make sure that people are going after each other directly and putting them in the background and positioning themselves in the middle. So that's why I think they're opposites, and it's crazy that both of them make it to the end together.
Yeah. We move on to week 2. Kesa wins the HOH. He makes a deal with Will and Boogie. 1 week of safety. Wow. And also that if I'm going to not keep you guys safe in an attempt for the rest of the house to think you're sketchy. Obviously, this doesn't work because although Diane maybe thinks it for like a second, they're like, okay, but that means BB6 are also sketchy. They're also stronger in comps. They're also more numerous. We're targeting them still. Very stupid move, as Will and Boogie are aware of. Erika wins the veto, which means Boogie is basically safe for the rest of the week. She chooses not to use it. Boogie and Will do toy with BB6 a lot this week. They really galvanize the rest of the house to stick them together. They get the floaters around and they say, one of us wins, BB6 has got to go. And I think being in a established alliance away from BB6 gives BB6 less flack for them moving forward because they were always an alliance against them and they knew that, you know?
Yeah. And I feel like we talked about this in the Will episode. He just didn't want to be there. He didn't really care. He's kind of playing on house money. Boogie came into the season basically broke. He had no house money. He wants this game so bad. He wants to be here. You can kind of see in the way he is playing, because if Chilltown gets targeted, the talk isn't about getting Will out. It's about getting Boogie out for some reason. And he does a lot of good work to like build this up. And he is like protecting. We always say he's protecting him and Will, but he's specifically protecting him in these moments because it's him that would go home next to Will.
Agreed.
Again, this echoes exactly what I said about week 1, right? Like this move to have these floaters kind of unite together and go after season 6. We see that it bears fruit because then they say, well, the floaters are going after y'all, the floaters. And that's exactly what they keep doing. That's the whole name of the game. Make sure that people are going after each other out loud and we get to sneak in the background. There was no reason for all of them to be so loud about going after season 6, but they championed them. They rooted for them. They uplifted them. They cheerleaded them into this like mindset. Obviously, going into the season, they felt that way. But instead of it being season 6, Chilltown, like those are entities we have to go after, they made themselves seem like allies to both sides, but specifically in this moment, the floaters. And that is the name of the game. Again, doing work to get into the middle.
Yeah. Also, he has a skill set that I think someone like Anthony Douglas has. This is a strategy that I would like to use on Big Brother. It's not used a lot. Is I think he's a good hype man. Like if you're alone with him, he hypes up. He's like, "That's the move. That's what we're doing. This is for us." Like he gets your emotions all like hyped up. It's like you're excited for what he's telling you, and it makes you feel more closer to him. It's like, oh, we're in this together. Like it's like when you win a game in like sports. Like, oh, we're doing this. Like we're a team. We're a family. He really don't give a fuck about you most of the time, but he's like making you feel like you're part of the team. That's part of like the whole Chilltown thing. They invite people into Chilltown, and it makes them feel more connected.
Right. So to wrap this week up, Nokomis goes home because she's in an awful position because she's on the bottom trying to align with BB6 when they don't have the votes to keep her. Boogie, Will, Danielle rally the rest of the house to evict Nokomis and keep Diane another week. So we move on to week 3. James is in power. Boogie and Will are like, oh, what's James going to do? Luckily, James is targeting Chicken George. But George wins the veto, which means another target is in order. Will is already nominated on the block, thanks to him volunteering. And they say, why don't we just put up Boogie? But then the rest of BB6 push James to target Jace instead. If you don't know, Jace is Jace is the first person that Chilltown kind of formally induct into their alliance. I don't know about pre-gaming shit, but this is the first time we see it on the feeds. And because Jace is attached to Chilltown, this just has no benefit for Jace, if we've already established. Jace is better in comps. Jace is also seen as a lone wolf, if not in Chilltown. So they're not going to make too many people angry by targeting him. And, well, I guess Diane, but what's Diane going to do, right? And what is it? He's just again, like Chilltown throwing all these competition. I don't know, throwing or perception, but keeping them as a target in the game. They want to keep Boogie in the game because if they put up Boogie, they're also worried that people will send home Will over him because Will doesn't want to be here anymore. So, how would you go about this if you were Boogie? I think what he does is great, but I'll let you guys talk first.
Yeah, I'm trying to think because like what he just does is pretty good. Like he's good at just like making deals and getting in there socially. And him and Will do a lot of good like active work to basically just set up Jace for failure.
Yeah. So, Josiane, do you want to say?
No, I think this is the first time I think Chilltown realizes that there's a bit of a gap in their strategy, and I think they put in work to later fill that gap, specifically with James, right? And creating that Legion of Doom. And what's interesting here is this invitation, as Drake mentioned, this invitation to make you feel like you're a part of something. They have made themselves look like better allies than good options to be enemies with. And I think what's interesting is what people should have taken into account was, well, if they're going to treat Jace like that, what does this mean for me? But they make it such a good job to make it seem like it's solely Jace. And he's the one who's really screwing himself over, which is powerful because if they made it seem like it was their working, which it was, then they would have been like, well, there's no point in working with them because look how they treated Jace. So this was very smart in their way. And I don't know if it's because of who Jace is as a person and they were able to push him that way, or if it was 100% their doing, but something worked out for them for it to happen the way it did.
Right. So essentially what happens is Boogie and Will, I think it's mainly Will, but Boogie goes along with it. They get Jace to pick a fight with Marcellus in Jace's mind to make Marcellus the target. This has the opposite effect because when Jace is placed next to Boogie, Jace no longer has the votes. When Jace is put next to Will on the block, Jace just has no votes left in the house against Will, and Jace basically goes home. Will does a good job getting Erika on board. He gets a bunch of other people on board to keep Will as well. Especially Danielle, he's like, Will's still here to play. He tells Will, get back in the game. Boogie does great work with Danielle pretty much this whole season, in my opinion. She trusts him like second to James, it seems, the whole time. But this is where I have to dog Boogie some points too, because if you don't know, when Boogie gets drunk, he gets angry and he starts just blowing capital. Like on this point, he's like, Janelle makes some comment and she's like, oh, you can't, if you want to do this, you're going to have to win an HOH in a teasing way. But Mike takes this as like, oh, you think I can't win an HOH? And he just starts bashing her across the house to where Will has to be like, yo, cool it. And luckily this has no real ramifications, but I just think in another world it would, you know?
Yeah, I think like it really just depends on the cast. Luckily, he's with like the remaining of season 6, and they were all drunk all the time, so I guess it didn't affect them too much. But like, I think it affects them a little bit on 14. I just think Boogie gets drunk and doesn't know how to shut up.
Yeah, it's bad. It's very icky. But luckily, it's fruitless. Jace goes home, Will gets to stay, and he also has Will on that side of the house to take care of Janelle for him. Because when Janelle does win HOH, the whole house is like, well, put up Boogie. You just fought, right? And Will gets Janelle on board to say, no, that's not really going to happen. Janelle cuts a deal with Boogie. She says, you're going up, but you're a fake target. My real target is a floater. And Boogie's like, okay, I'll agree to this. They make a deal. They throw the veto to Boogie. Boogie is safe. Diane goes up. Boogie, of course, is not sending home Erika, so Diane goes home instead. Also, in this week, because James and Danielle are so enraged by Janelle going against what she told the house, they say it's time for Janelle to go. And to do that, we're going to join up with Will and Boogie, and together we're going to form the Legion of Doom. So Boogie is attached to Janelle on one side through Will, and is attached to Legion of the Doom on the other side. He also has his connection with Erika, and he's friendly with George. So, in my opinion, like, Boogie is the best positioned in the house at this point because Boogie's got stronger connections with Danielle and James than Will does.
This is where this week bears fruit for Boogie. Is he's finally in that middle position. The effort and the work that he has put in to get into the middle finally bears fruit. And who did he boot to get that position? Erika. Like, let's clock it. Let's clock it. So I think ultimately, and the week with Will, right? the urgency in having to keep someone who's an important ally to you because they're your number one and you feel like you don't have no choice. You have to put in work and almost put your neck out for them. That is the same urgency that, again, Erika lacks. Opposite mirrors to each other. So at this point, there's been so much active gameplay to position himself in this place where he is right now. And it works so perfectly because, again, everyone's going after someone else. Like Erika and him that have that relationship, but Erika has now shifted towards Danielle and Marcellus and somewhat James. And so these two sides are going against each other and they both feel like they need Chilltown. So it's like you have to give 10s where 10s are due. Like he actively put himself in this position and made sure that it wasn't that he was just in the middle and he was a swing vote. It was that he was in the middle and they felt like they needed him to do the moves and to actively go against everyone else at the house except for them.
Exactly. Yeah, so Diane goes home. Boogie keeps his great position and he continues to use his great position. Danielle wins the following HOH and Boogie and Will essentially use this to continue to play the middle. They set up, to Janelle, to Howie, to Casey. They're like, oh, look how Danielle and Erika and Marcellus are all grouped together and excluding you guys. So now the war is between those two sides. It's the floaters against BB6 and they continue to play the middle. They get a few prizes in the veto competition because they throw it to Janelle as the biggest target on that side. And they blame, and they want to get Marcellus up. They want to get Marcellus up because they think they can do it because of Danielle's beef with Marcellus, and also because Marcellus is kind of the only piece left on the game board that would even look at targeting in their direction. It is unsuccessful. Danielle puts her foot down. She nominates Kesa, but Kesa going isn't even that bad anyway. Sorry, go.
Honestly, I think Kaser going is best case scenario for Boogie this week, honestly, because I don't think he realized how many similar relationships him and Kaser have. And now Kaser going and him not being the one to do it, he fully gets those relationships with like Danielle and Erika. Like they go to him and all of them pretty much view him as his number one and number two. And it's no longer Kaser. And also he does, like we'll talk about, he does a lot of good work of making sure Will evicts Kaser.
And BB6 are like more dependent on them now.
Mm-hmm.
With Kaser gone. But yeah, like you said, sorry, I'll wrap it up. So essentially Will is like, because Will isn't as close to Danielle and James as Boogie is. Like, although Will does come up with a lot of the scheming and he does instruct Boogie what to do, it's Boogie who has these relationships to make it happen. So when Will is like, what if we keep Kaser because Will has more influence over Janelle and Howie? Boogie's like, no, we're not going to ruin our relationship with Danielle and James like that. I just don't think it's worth it. Especially because I don't want to squander this amazing position we're in. So Will, at the live eviction, gestures to Will, we're sending home Kaser. Kaser goes home. Granted, Boogie definitely made the right choice because they wouldn't have even had the votes anyway because for some reason everyone was confused on how George was voting this week. But it all works out. They're still in a good position. We move on to week 6. Again, Boogie and Will do great week. Janelle wins HOH. They basically say Marcellus. They push Marcellus all week. And Marcellus does end up getting renominated after they throw the veto to Danielle. Marcellus goes up again next to Erika. She does. He has no shot to stay. Marcellus goes home. However, this is a week where I'm noticing another flaw with Boogie's game is that Boogie doesn't realize how strong of a piece Erika is on the game board. I feel like he let her get into danger too easily, and had things gone a different way, perhaps she could have gone home, and that would have been terrible, you know? Erika going is only good for Will. You need to keep Erika in the game so you have something that Will doesn't.
And that's kind of what I was going to say about the previous week, but it aligns, is that when you're playing the middle, like you want each side to lose a person back and forth, but you have to make sure that the right people are leaving at the right time. Like pushing for Marcellus makes sense because it's one less person on the Danielle and James side who he's closer to. And the same thing for Kaser, like, okay, he becomes valuable because or he's less valuable because he's at that extreme further side that's not in your middle, that's not close to your center. And so to your point with Erika, right? Erika is probably the one of the closest people, or who believes that is the closest person to Boogie aside from Will, maybe. And so not valuing her position in terms of like if we have like that row or like those graphics that you do where you have them positioned, like losing Erika feels closer to his center and his universe and his world. That makes losing her more crucial and almost really unbalanced. And so out of everyone in the house, including Will, when people are lost, they're people who are the furthest from his center and his core and his middle. Until Will leaves, obviously, but that's like final four.
Agreed.
Yeah, I do think he views Erika very expendable, but I think push comes to shove, he'll protect Erika. Like we do kind of see that in the future.
When she's on the block, to his credit, he does always get her next to someone that can go home. It's just the willingness to let Erika go up in the first place that is a little concerning, you know? Because you can't just because that only benefits Will. You need to keep your position. Because at this point, Boogie is in a better position. And not going to lie, George wins HOH, but does George win it? Because Boogie just completely runs this HOH. Because although George does nominate James and Janelle, no, not Janelle. He nominates James and Erika right at the start. Because remember, this is like a fast forward, so he nominates them immediately. And then everyone's like, oh my God, George is playing. What's going on? What's going on? And Boogie does great work. He's like, James wins the veto, so someone else has got to go up. And Boogie's like, Janelle. And George is saying no. So when Erika tells him that George is thinking of putting up Will, who went behind his back to volunteer for a pawn and didn't tell him, very strange move from Will. Boogie is like, okay, well, I've got this power. Oh, I forgot to say, he won the coup d'etat last week because he answered some riddle involving, what was it? You reap what you sow? That was it.
Reap what you sow.
Yeah. So he has this power to change the nominations. It doesn't come into effect. He merely uses it as a threat to get George to compromise into nominating Howie, which great target for Boogie, in my opinion. What lessens that side of the house, which is the side that benefits Will more. And also, once Will is up against, Howie is up against Erika on the block, Will goes into full Howie must go. Him and Danielle are able to, at the last second, flip Will over, keeping Erika in the game and sending home Howie. And this is a move that I think benefits Boogie a lot more than it does Will.
Yeah. Because Howie had at least a relationship with Will at this point, more than he ever did Boogie.
Yeah.
So
and that's exactly to the point that I was saying earlier, right? Like who's closest to his middle, his core. Having James and Janelle on the block is not good when you have Howie in the house, who is probably the furthest at this point because he has Legion of Doom with Danielle and James. Chicken George can't go up because he's HOH, and they have formed a double date with Erika and Janelle. Having those two initial noms is not the best world for him. That benefits other people, but not him. And so having that leverage and that power to be like, you need to nominate Howie, who's the furthest from him. Chicken George, by the way, didn't have to do that. Like again, Chicken George, you really get a 0 from me. But he puts up Howie, which again, then his universe becomes smaller, and that person is on the furthest, and they go. Like it's insane.
That's Big Brother. That's how you play Big Brother.
I also, to Boogie's credit, like we're talking about getting rid of the people that are like, if you're in the middle, get rid of the people that are closer to you, keep them in the game. Everyone at this point in the game, except for Janelle, is closer to Boogie than Will.
Correct.
Yeah.
It's like he pretty much does amazingly. I don't know how much activeness it is from him, but at least it was somewhat activeness and like somewhat purposeful. Also, at this point, is the coup d'etat still a thing, or did he get taken away yet?
Well, here's the thing, like, people say, oh, it got taken away. It doesn't really matter because it gets taken away when Boogie wins HOH, which was the last week it would have even been viable. And he tells Will how to do it. Production takes it away, but it doesn't matter because he's HOH, you know?
Okay. I thought they took it away already about this. I thought they took it away when he threatened with George. Okay.
Yeah. So Boogie wins HOH, and no shade, this is by far the best HOH of the season. He nominates Janelle and James for eviction. Both great targets to go. He says to Will, basically the plan is Janelle's going. If we can throw veto to Janelle, if Janelle wins, James is going. Both of them agree to be the pawn. So no blood on Boogie's hands. Janelle wins the veto. Up Chicken George goes as the pawn, like pretty much willingly, and James goes home. I think this is pretty much good on all sides, especially like because although Danielle does get like, obviously she knows that she's on the bottom now. Her closest ally and James went home, but because James volunteered, it's like how angry can she be at Boogie in specifically, you know? Because even after this, she's not targeting Boogie, she's targeting Will.
Yeah.
And if not Will, then probably Janelle.
Mm-hmm.
And being in the middle, you have to have balance. And once Howie leaves, the one side is just Janelle. That becomes so unbalanced for his middle. So he needs to get rid of someone. Like you could argue maybe he should have gotten rid of George to keep Danielle like happy or whatever. But it's like if you get rid of George, your odds of like being in the middle now are kind of decreasing, and there's a chance you don't win power. So then you might be edged out. So I genuinely think at first I was like, why don't you just go for Chicken George? But in terms of looking at the balance and the scales, getting rid of James makes total sense because it brings everything back.
Yeah.
And Danielle still like while she'll like want to go to Janelle, the work that's already been done to separate them all season long, it's like they're too far gone. Like they're so far out, and their middle is Boogie, and she's not even mad at Boogie, she's mad at Will.
And here's the thing, she can't even be mad at Boogie because she's like, why couldn't we have gotten rid of George? And he's like, well, George is on the block. This isn't my decision who goes now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I may have known where the votes were going, but you can't prove that.
Yeah. Also, at this point in the game, you're like dangerously close to James just being able to comp out. Like I know Janelle's the comp piece of the season, but like James and Janelle could really just trade comps at this point of the season because like they're probably the two best like competitors when it comes to competitions.
And like you said, like James leaving here makes perfect sense because it tips the scales and Boogie's back in the center of the game again.
And even like, obviously we know things like in the future, but Erika isn't even on that side. If anything, she's like above Boogie in a weird way because that's
she is normally, yeah. I just put her here because Danielle kind of moves off to the side because of the
correct. No, I get what you're saying, but even in the way I'm talking, because this is correct in terms of like what the placement and the layout of the game was, but in terms of his universe, his center, Erika is on an island on her own.
Yeah.
George is on an island of his own, and then he has Will, and then he has Danielle, and then he has James, and then he has Janelle because of the way the alliances work. So it's really like it's really actually masterful how it gets done.
Agreed. So flashback to this HOH. As we've established, Danielle goes home because Boogie and Will are essentially able to talk her into giving it nominating Danielle when they throw veto to Janelle. Danielle goes home as she is after Chiltan at this point. Well, specifically Will. Again, this is probably the right move for Boogie. I don't know.
This is the weird thing about Boogie's endgame. It's the fact that we know he wants to get the end with Will, who beats him. Yeah. So he is playing perfect for that situation, but he just can't beat Will. So it's like you're doing all this great work. Like you're probably getting 10s every week, but it's like it's probably really a 9 because you can't beat Will, who is your intended final 2.
Can I ask something? Good point. Do you think Will would have sat in the final 2 chairs with Boogie and thrown it?
I think Will would have said vote for Boogie, and they still would have voted for Will, and Will have been like, "See, I'm just the greatest. You can't really do anything about it." Like,
probably.
But do you think that the jury would vote for Will even if he said like, "You guys, I don't vote for me"?
I think it depends on how much he does it. Like if he's playing up his Dr. Will character and he's like being smug about it, like how he did like I want all of you to go. I don't care about any of you. Just like that type of way. I feel like they'll think he's playing into it and just give him the win. But if he's being like serious, they might not vote for him.
Right.
Because I think in terms of paths to the final 2, I think there's a world where Will throws it. So making sure that Will's in a good position as well is important. And to your point, or to your question rather, is this the move? Because Erika's on an island of her own, because Chicken George is on an island on his own, Danielle has now become on an island of her own.
Yeah.
What would have been best for him is for Janelle to go. Because that to me is like all road to you. Janelle's road goes through Will and then you. So in a perfect world, in a perfect boogie center world, Janelle should have been the one to go. Now she wins the POV. What can you do? You know what I
But
mean?
he did throw it to her.
He did throw it to her, which I understand because you want to prioritize. Well, whatever.
And then you want to pacify Janelle in case she does win, right?
That wasn't the most optimal move necessarily, but at that point, the move's already done. And it just makes it that, and also Janelle and Boogie and Mike and Will have a final 3. So it's not like Janelle's gonna turn on it now. Do you get what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's like it wasn't the most optimal move. Not really, but it's not like a crazy move that doesn't benefit him because he's at least guaranteed a world where he's in the final 3 where he can compete. So, like I think the move should have been to get rid of Janelle, but once the POV is thrown, in terms of who goes, I don't know. Like I just feel like the Chicken George should have left before Danielle, only because even in a world where Danielle wins, Boogie's not the one going up. Do you get what I'm saying? Like he's not the one going up. Granted, she's one of the best and a threat, but with George being the final other competitor, it's like it gives Erika and Janelle more of a chance to win. Versus like if Danielle is in the equation, it almost equalizes it a little bit more, depending on what the competition is.
Agree.
Yeah. I think Danielle probably is the best target once Janelle isn't available. Just because if you're looking at Danielle, Chicken George, and Erika, who's the best player here? It's obviously Danielle, and it's not really close. But also, he still has Will and Erika, who will always keep him next to Chicken George, Janelle, the other one. Like he has 2 locked-in people who always like keep him safe if he ends up on the block. So I think it doesn't matter like if Chicken George doesn't win these comps because he's always going to be safe.
Yeah,
unless it gets down to like the 1 vote at Final 4.
And we see the example of this because at this point, Will and Boogie have lumped in George to Chilltown, Erika's in Chilltown, Janelle's in Chilltown. Janelle wins the next HOA. She nominates Erika and George with Erika as the target. Erika wins the veto. Boogie goes up as the other option is literally Will. Although Janelle claims that she would like to see Boogie go here because George is going to keep her. Again, the votes are Erika and Will. There's no way Boogie goes home in this situation. So I think he was probably most safe in the double. George goes home.
And George doesn't bitterly because it's not Mike Boogie who voted for him.
Exactly. And so Boogie wins the next HOH, one that he kind of needed. Fun fact: this is the only time all season a member from one season sent home a member of the same season, and it was unintentional. So
that is kind of funny.
Yeah. So Mike nominates Janelle, Erika. Janelle is the target, but it doesn't really matter. He has no power. It's essentially immunity. Janelle wins the veto, and she evicts Will. Now, this is great for Boogie, but Boogie did not want this to happen. How do you feel about this?
You know, sometimes in these games, losing your showmance can be really like powerful and emotional when it happens. So I understand where he's coming from because like he did just lose like one of the loves of his life. But no, like in all seriousness, I guess it is weird because it's an all-star season. I do always like, well, this Boogie a little bit. Oh, you want to go to the end of Will? Will is his real life best friend. So like, how much can I really hate on? It's not like it's a stranger. It's like you two have been best friends for like 5 years up to this point. So I do get that, but. This is like,
this is great.
Yeah, it's like it wins him the game because Erika throws that. Erika wins his first HOH.
I think his reaction to be disappointed and stuff is not. It is valid. I don't want to not validate his feelings in regards to that experience, but in reality, when there's someone, if you're in a world where you can't control shit and your ally goes. And you're in a position of Final 4 or Final 3, it is always better that your person leaves that Final 4 because they get to go into that jury, have more time than the person who's in Final 3, and rep your game. Ambassador, ambassador for you. There is something about your ally going home that sometimes it's okay when it's the jury phase and it's the end of the game.
Well-
You need someone to rally, to uplift you, to prove your point. I'm not saying that they didn't see Boogie's game. I can't comment on that. I wasn't in the jury house. The jury segments that we did get didn't really indicate how people felt truly. It just showed more resentment than who they were rooting for. But having Will, the puppet master, the game never ends. Okay, including Jury House. So you get Will to show up and he's your ambassador. He's the one uplifting you. I'm the puppet master. I'm the one who played the best game. And if I can't win, this person deserves to win. That is the best sign of approval. That's literally the best thing that could happen for you. And also he beats you at the end. So like I understand why he is sad and he's a little hurt. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna take that away from him. Like he had a vision of having him and his lover in the final 2 seats. But it's not the end of the world, and rightfully so, because we see what happens.
Yeah, I think about even like on 27, I actually was obviously devastated when Rachel goes, but in hindsight, that's probably one of the best things that happened to her because she has someone campaigning for her in the jury phase the entire season of the jury.
Yeah.
Like you do need at least one cheerleader in the jury. It doesn't matter when they get there, earlier the better. But having one person in that people respect enough to listen to, it's gonna be great. Even like in Big Brother 18, when Corey goes to the Final Four, Nicole gives him notes on what to tell the jury to make sure she gets these votes to win the game. Like you need a cheerleader in there.
Agreed. Like the way Quinn was cheering for Chelsea as well all throughout BB26, like it really helps.
Yeah.
That's kind of the best jury management you can have. So yeah, probably did work out. And then we move on to final 3. Boogie does a Richard Hatch move, which gets Janelle. This is just like unintentionally succeeding to the max because like he does this move thinking that both of them
I
need
don't want
to
to
take
give
it.
him credit.
It's so funny. Why
And
did
then
he do
like,
this?
mind you, I think Boogie and Erika in a final 2, so I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. He walks off. Janelle momentarily lets go of her key, which means Erika wins part 1, which is excellent. Then Boogie wins part 2, which is surprising he beats Janelle, but this is a competition that requires a lot more upper body strength, so Boogie naturally has the advantage. He like halves Janelle's time, and then Boogie and Erika rekindle their relationship. You know, kudos for Boogie to having this really strong relationship to Erika where she can fully know everything he's done and she will still take him to the end. She willingly throws part 3 to Boogie. Boogie wins the final HOH, eliminates Janelle, and he's sat next to Erika in the final 2. Sitting pretty, to be honest. And that kind of wraps up his game, you guys. I think he does really good in the jury Q&A, and it's no shock that he wins 6-1.
Before we even talk about the final 2 chairs, I just want to say the part 1 pissed me off so bad. You both need to take me. Since when does Janelle have to take you? That pissed
Absolutely
me off
not.
so bad because had he jumped and she wouldn't have taken her hand off and she would have won, like, I don't know. It just makes her chances at getting into that pissed me off so bad. Throwing competitions in final 3, both of you deserve your lashings. It's weird. And also,
Agreed.
I will say, the upper body strength thing, there's a segment early on. I don't know if it's like episode like 6 or 7 or
where he's
8,
working out.
where he's working out.
Yeah.
I was like, you don't have much time in the house. And instead of maybe smoking cigarettes, maybe take the time to, I don't know, work out in the gym. And that's not even Janelle shade. I know she was smoking those packs of cigarettes as well. That was not Janelle's strays. I guess she caught a stray, but that was not Janelle shade because she was winning competitions regardless. But instead of smoking the packs of cigarettes, you going to the gym and working out and really doing your big one. Like, look how that came handy. Like, if you're gonna be in the house, if you're not bettering yourself in a way to like think about the days and the numbers, the least you can do is better yourself physically. Like, you know what I mean? Like that turned out to his advantage because I don't really know where his physical state was before he got on the show. I can't really speak to that. But the fact that he put in work and it almost paid off in this very end game because he focused on that, and competitions are a part of this game, even though it's like my least favorite part. It paid dividends.
Certainly. And I'm glad he didn't throw part 2.
Yeah.
So he clearly clocked in there. Thank God.
Yeah. So I just want to go on this. I've been thinking this the whole time. Boogie like dresses like a gym teacher who also works for like the theater and band department. Like I don't know how to explain it. Like his style is like so unique. and I kind of rock with it, but I hate it at the same time because it's like, why do you dress like your Andre 3000 on that Cartoon Network show? Like, I don't understand like what's going on. Like, I don't understand his fits sometimes. It's always the fedora always does it though. He's the fedora.
I hate the fedora. He looks like an idiot. The fedora's the part
with
I hate.
jeans. The jeans I hate.
I hate the fedora so much. Get it off your head.
He looks like he's in like a cheap mafia movie. Like they found like a goon on the street. Mike Boogie sounds like a mafia member. It's like, oh, it's Mike Boogie here.
And sorry, what's the term for it? I was gonna say cravat, but that's not the term in English. The tie. The tie looks crooked.
I think it's intentionally so. I don't know because it's so loose.
It's not cute. You know. Can we wake this up for a second? I hate. You know what? I'm not trying to eat off Tanisha's nachos. Okay, I know she's a style girly, but there is something so weird about you knowing at the end of the day that this is gonna last a lifetime. Why not just dress in something simple and chic and nice? Like, I'm gonna give Erika her 10s. This to me, timeless. This to me, timeless. I'm calling you beautiful gowns. She's a pretty girl. I'm not gonna take that away from her. I'm not looking at this 10 years later and going, or however long this was. It's probably been 20 years. This is summer of 2006, right? 20 years. So
yeah.
Now I'm looking at this. I'm like, ooh, this is chic. I could see someone wearing this today. And then I look at Boogie, who looks a mess, and I'm like, oh my god, like.
Did it give you Vince vibes? McRae vibes?
Did you say Vince, like BB27 Vince?
Yeah.
No.
I think there's a difference
because
between
he wore his casual clothes in the final two. That's why.
But this isn't even casual. I don't know how to explain this. But I think there's a difference between like wearing whatever you want to wear, like on the feeds, like when it's like a normal day, like go to the diary room, you can put on whatever you're wearing.
It's a big deal.
Yeah, but like, I think on the live episodes, and especially the finale, you should like kind of look okay, I guess.
I would.
Yeah.
Vince is broke. That's the difference. Mike, you own how many restaurants? You get about this cash, blah blah blah. You can't find a classy suit. Like you can't, tighten up a little bit, little 1-2-1-2. Like 20 years later, you look tacky.
Danielle said it best. You have too much money to be dressing the way you do. And she ate him up with that. She clocked. But you guys, that's it. We did it. We done all, was it 14? Done all 14 house guests for BP7 going into.
Well, y'all did that. I was here for a cute set
You
of
did
that.
the longer ones.
You guys did the big ones. Congrats, you guys.
Yeah, shout
out
to Cass.
To wrap these guys up, I suppose there's no point because we already did it. So should we get to the ratings? Our final ratings.
I do
of
have
the season?
my modern day comparisons
of course
for
you
them.
do.
Yes, give it to us. Give it to us.
So for Erika, I was thinking, who's a player who's maybe not the most active, but like when they need to put in work, they will put in work every once in a while. They're okay socially, but they kind of make moves that make people not respect them in a way. So when they make it far, it's just people not respecting the decisions they've made. I kind of feel like she's Turner, right? She can win comps. And I feel like Turner would make these big moves and people would be like, that's not your move. And I feel like that's the same with Erika. Erika would make moves and people wouldn't respect it.
And Turner thought he was a jury threat. Did he? Think
that? The whole house thought Turner was a jury threat, so I can't get mad at him with that. At least this house, no one took Erika seriously. At least on 24, the house guests were like in the house being like, oh, Turner's going to win. Because they didn't see how bad his goodbye messages were.
When you started, I thought you were going to say blue. I don't know why. I just thought
James Ryan.
We said James was blue.
Oh. Well, all right. Well, I don't know why. To me, Turner feels like such an insult. Maybe it's the fact that he steals every other tweet and do anything for clout demon. I don't know. But you know what?
Hey, real.
The shoe was fitting.
I think Turner's a better player than Erika. I genuinely think Turner's a better player. Turner would like
they're about the same for me, no shit.
Yeah, like I just feel like Turner would actively like I remember him being like Kyle, like, hey, me and Kyle, we're the final two, right? And like he would at least do stuff like that. Erika kind of just didn't do anything until the week 4. I mean the final 4. And then with Boogie, Boogie's a little harder because he is a very kind of a unique player. But I was like, who is someone who's more like is part of a duo and is really good, but he's not the main person in that duo. And I was thinking, is he Kylan? Like, I feel like Kylan had a lot of flaws, and Boogie has flaws too. But when they're really good with like they're certain people socially and they're okay strategically, I think Boogie's like if someone sniped Xavier out at 4, Kylan just gets to the end of like Big D and wins. I kind of think that's what happens if someone else takes out Xavier. Like,
Oh wow.
Kylan's never taken out Xavier. Boogie's never taken out Will. They always want to go to the end with someone who probably beats them for some reason. And they're pretty good players at the end of the day.
I like that comparison because I don't know. Now that you say Kylan, that makes sense because I don't know who else would fit because you're right. It doesn't match with the winners. So Kylan, someone that could have easily
also,
won.
There's
Makes
people
total
that like
sense.
And Kylan would have made the final two with Xavier, which is the same as Will.
Boogie would have done.
Yeah. And Kylan has pieces like I guess it's different because like the cookout also had the bigger message, but like he had pieces like Sarah Beth and stuff that he just never valued in the game when he really should have valued it more. That's similar to how Boogie treats Erika in the season.
Okay, you ate again, Drake. Well, okay, when we do BB28, you need to compare the BB28 player to a player from BB2 to BB7.
I was just gonna do all Big Brother.
Oh, we could do that. We could.
You know what? We'll give you that. All a Big Brother.
Yeah,
Okay,
I think for these ones I'm trying to be more strict or just modern. But I think when I get like I'm not gonna compare people like on 28 to who from 27. That feels a little unless it's like they're the same person. Like hey Zach and Matt, you're the same person. But I'm gonna try to keep it more specific.
Yeah, but that's a great one.
Would Erika be comparable in your opinion to Victoria?
No, I think she's better than Victoria. Did Victoria initiate?
They have the same gameplay. I'm just saying, arc wise.
I feel like Erika, like back against the wall. I think Erika will do something. I don't think Victoria would do something if her back's against the wall.
Because Erika's scrappier, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like we're comparing her to Turner. I'm not saying they're the same, but I'm thinking about who got her position, who got second place.
Yeah.
In this world, like I can't think of another finalist that could compare to Erika except for her.
Yeah, one of the other people I was thinking of was low-key Bowie Jane, but I was like, that kind of feels.
Oh my god, the Mafia! Wait, what's their side? Mafia.
What about? How do you feel about? How did your game change for the better when you joined the Mafia with Matt and I? Was that it?
Yeah.
What about Holly Allen? Does she kind of give Holly a little bit?
Yeah, maybe? I think if you go past 23, pre-23, I think Holly is a really good one. Holly doesn't
win. Sorry, I can't even do season 21. I have that season blocked out. It's like the Dark Ages. Like
that's the again that's the other show that's
almost 50 more than 21, to be honest. Like low key.
Sorry,
I said I kind of respect 15 more than I do 21, to be honest.
Same.
But...
Stay tuned for those rewinds. Ooh, fun.
Oh, good luck to the soul who's gonna do 15. Oh my god. Get Tori in
here. That's us in a couple years.
Get Tori in here. Miss Amanda Stan. Get her in here.
Tori Zuckerman. I know that's wrong.
Oh my god.
Okay, so shall we rate these final players of the season?
Yes.
Josie Ann, do you want to start us off with your queen, Mother Erika? As Peter would say.
That sarcasm must be highlighted, please. If you don't understand sarcasm, I'm letting you know it's sarcasm.
Let's put it in italics. Yeah.
All right. Let me tell you something right now. I may be a hater, but I'm a little fair. You are not worse than Chicken George. So I can assure you won't be getting a 0. So praise, hallelujah, for doing the bare minimum.
No way.
That man is below the bar. Now, here's the thing. I know you wanted to give her 10s for that week 1. For me, I don't feel like it was on purpose. I just feel like she kind of fell in there. She got the benefit of being the girl next door. I think she didn't do any moves to better her positioning in the game at all. Every time she was on the block, she could have made something shake. The one good thing she has is that she won competitions. But even then, her number one ally wasn't even really having her like that. Like, if you want to compare her to Janelle, at least Janelle had Kaser. At least she had Howie. At least she had people who actually wanted to prioritize her. Heck, throw in Will in there. Get what I'm saying? Your guy is Mike Boogie. And the way he's dogging you night and day, night and day, night and day. And then you get power and your move is to get rid of Danielle. Ooh. Oh, like you're so gutter. You're so gutter. You're so gutter. I hope that 15K was worth it. You're getting a 1 from me.
Oh, dang. It's low.
Yeah. And I said that too. And I'm open to hearing y'all's thoughts. I really am. I'm nothing but fair.
Yeah.
But where I stand right now, my truth is that she gets one extra point above Chicken George.
Wait, the score's not great. Go while I try and fix the scoring because it's being
All
weird.
right. I think with Erika, yeah, she can't win the game. Unfortunately, well, fortunately, I didn't want her to win, but
Right.
I think she does have skills to just be like naturally okay socially, and she's good at surviving. Like she's never gonna win the game, but she can always make it to the next week. And I think because of that, I have to give her like a decent score because at the end of the day, you could always make the end game. I
Yeah.
think I was between a 4.5 and a 4. I think I was gonna sell on a 4 because like she just makes a lot of mistakes and she's also not active enough to recover from these mistakes. And maybe it'd be different if I felt like Boogie was like fully locked in with her, but he also like secretly hated her the whole season. I felt like he didn't really care for her half the time.
Ooh, yeah. I don't know how I feel. I think the one is mighty. I would say
6, 7.
that's gonna drag her down. I think
Hallelujah.
again,
Oh,
I'm okay.
again, no, I respect it. I respect Erica's first 4 weeks. I think she was in a great position. I know you guys think it's up to coincidence. I think, yeah, to an extent it is, but I think she played within her archetype well. I like how she survived. I like how she was in a great position. The problem is, as you guys made that perfectly clear to me now, is not is throwing that week 5 HOH. I just think from there, she was just able to get none of the benefits of being on the opposite side, and it just caught up with her. And I do give her credit from being able to survive week to week to week, but again, it's not enough. It's too defensive. You need to go on the offensive if you want to win Big Brother. And it's of no surprise to me that she loses the game even before she votes out Danielle. And that to me is the cherry on top. I do think it was no coincidence that she made a father at the same time, but I
may
don't know how
I
much
raise
credence I give
a
that.
point?
To
May
what?
I-
A 2?
No, I'm not changing my score right now. Y'all aren't convincing me. If
Not
anything,
that type of point.
Oh, I thought you said a point like
No.
raise her a
I
number.
meant like an argument, if you will.
Okay.
We keep saying that she survived. Do we think she survived on her own? Do you think because she, like, to me, you can argue until you're blue in the face. You need people to back you. If she's not backed by Mike and Dr. Will, does she really survive that long? Like truly on her own?
Yeah. The final 4 round gives me enough evidence that she could at least do something. That was all on her own, in my opinion.
Yes, that move in those circumstances where she was already Boo-Boo the Fool. Mind you, her argument is, by the way, they played us this entire season. Like, we wouldn't be here because they made us third chill town. Like, that her argument was they got there because of them and how they manipulated and played them and leveraged them. So, like, even your point is also because of like the work that had been done to keep her up until this point. Do you get what I'm saying? So that's why I'm asking you, do you think truly in your heart of hearts, if she was not sleeping with Boogie before the season, they were both not on the show, that she would have been able to play an active game to get to this point against the season 6 and the rest of the house?
Active game, no. I think she can be passive and be forgettable long enough to make it far regardless. And
how does that make her any different than Chicken George then?
Because Erika will at least talk game and initiate her into alliances. She'll talk to people. Chicken George is Chicken George. Chicken George just sits there and cleans.
Okay, I'm just asking you these questions. You didn't give us a score yet. I'm just asking you these questions because I'm hearing some of the things that are being said. It's making me think, okay.
I think from how much we know Erika did pregame for this season, I feel like she's going to like actively make some alliances. I just think it depends on which ones will she stay loyal to.
She will go out of her way to make alliances. You think Erika will go out of her way to make alliances? Or
she did before,
or people will include her into alliances?
She made one with George.
Bro, who you taking the 2 passive players and you're telling me the most active between the 2 worst players is actively going out of their way? All right. Thank God she did an alliance with Chicken George. By the way, she betrayed. Oh,
I think
my
my
God.
expect for this being an all-star season, there's so many people on here who are passive. She's not even like a bottom 3 passive player. That's actually sad for the rest of the cast.
Well, Nokomis is Nokomis, but Nokomis is done. Okay, so I
And you
think
see how
after
well
all
rated
that is said, I will give my score for Erika. It's a 10. All right, Josiane, do you want to give us your score for Boogie?
Okay, Peter. Spirit of fear. Spirit of Peter. Spirit of fear in Peter.
I need that clipped. I need that
Because,
All right, do you want to start off with Boogie?
stop. You guys are very kind, I'm noticing.
I just think I give a lot of people like around this 4 and 3 range.
I do think she's better.
I saw
I think
how
she's
rated other players, which we need to get into because that shit's crazy. Now, Mike, Lord, here's the thing. If you would have asked me in the beginning, I think my rating would have been different. But as we've had to discuss his game for the past 2 hours, I don't want to give it a 10. I don't want to give it a 10. But in the circumstances and in the way we have seen this season shake out, mayhaps a 9.
Oh, a 9. I like that. That's spicy.
No, because
Josiane's gonna give a spicy score. I love it though.
no, because like if we're being real, like
It was
I
a great
can't.
game.
He played a really good game, and the things he did that were kind of like him drinking or whatever, like it didn't actually have any consequences. The only time he gets bamboozled is at the final 4. That's the only time he doesn't decide what the move is, what to do. He literally, to the point where he controls who wins some of these competitions by throwing power away to people he needs to, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So like to me, it's like, you could argue maybe he didn't need to throw that POV to Janelle, but did it matter? No, because he makes it to the end. And honestly, like if she doesn't win that power, I still think he makes it to the end. Like, I don't think there's anything he did that was like, oh, this really could have put you in shit. Like, even his ally, who was a bit of a mess, he had to gather. So, like, I'm thinking, like, what really did he do that merits a lower score? Like, the only other, like, I was thinking between 8 and 9, but I genuinely just can't think of, like, what could really knock him down to an 8. Maybe you guys have points, and maybe I'll change my mind.
I will say I'm between 2 numbers, and one of them is a 9. I think Boogie's game, I think it's maybe like the most underestimated like winning game. I think people just don't respect Boogie for like maybe 2, maybe 14, and like post-show stuff. Yeah, I just don't. I think people don't take Boogie seriously, but he does run this game really well. And when we talked about it, he makes sure his pieces stay more than Will's pieces. We like when they showed the board, those people all value Boogie more than they value Will. He takes the game more serious than Will. I think the only reason I'm thinking of the 8.5 is there's times where like I think Boogie knows what's better for his game, but he kind of does do what Will says. Like he just does what's like throwing the veto to he's like, okay, as Will wants, I'm gonna do it. I think he like backs down to Will too much. And he wanted to go to the end of Will when I'm not certain if he does beat Will, even if Will tells the jury to give him the win. So I think for that, I'm gonna give him an 8.5. I think he's just a little. Honestly, I kind of Will, but I think an 8.5 feels right. Him just being a little lower than Will. I feel like he is the beta in that relationship in that duo. Makes sense. Even though I think his game is really good. Like I think there's an argument for like top 10 winning game. Like this game is really impressive.
Yeah. I was really happy. I didn't realize how good Boogie was socially. I didn't realize, although Will definitely is like, probably you would give more credit to the strategy behind it. Like he would have not been able to do what he did without Boogie there. Like Boogie was there to correct Will off track several times, and Will wants to get rid of get rid of James too early, or he flips him and gets rid of Howie instead of Erika. Things that benefit Boogie a lot more than they do Will. I think, what is it? Things to Doc and 4 again. It's like, taking Will to the end, I don't think that's great. I do think Will would beat him in a jury vote. I think also, again, the small things like getting rid of, like being so lenient with Erika at first, and also getting too drunk sometimes and ruining him socially. But again, none of these things bite him in the ass. And Boogie is way closer to everyone in the house by like jury phase besides Janelle than Will is. And he's always the best positioned in the game. And
mind you, went into jury and backed him like crazy.
And backed him up. And he had so much support on the jury. He was genuinely a jury threat by the time he left. And again, like you said, I think this is a really underrated winning game. I think people give when people say Will's the dominant, like even at the end when people are saying, "Oh, Boogie won thanks to Will," I don't know if that's entirely true. I don't know if Will definitely helped a lot, but I think Boogie did more than his fair share of helping out. So I think I'm going to give Boogie the 8.5, but I was also really close to giving him a 9.
Yeah,
And that is a winning game of the show. And I'm at peace with that. So we now have rated everyone officially. Now we can look at to the overalls, which Janelle has gripes with. Let me just, not Janelle, Josiane.
Yeah, because let's wake this shit up. Let's wake this shit up. Certain people don't deserve to be above other people. And that's just me being real. You want the real in reality? I'm going to give it to you. Some of these orders don't make fucking sense.
Case in point. Sorry, I know I'm moving around a lot.
I'm sorry. Can we wake this up for a moment?
Yeah.
The winner is below. All right. You know what?
I
you know what? Because I gave Will. What did I give Will?
You gave him an 8, I believe.
I'm so correct. Oh my God. Like, I'm so correct. We have a winner who better positioned himself than Will. And y'all gave him an 8.5. Like, Will was also getting drunk. Will was also a mess. I'm sorry, y'all.
Boogie, that's not true.
I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. You mean to tell me those hot tub scenes where he's telling Casey to put him up wasn't a mess?
I don't even know if he was drunk. That might have been Will. But
okay, so even worse. This man's sober and acting a fool. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry, y'all. This ranking system, we need to make shit shake and move and change.
Well, you need to be on more of these, Josiane.
This is not making sense.
I think with me, the thing about Will and Boogie, the reason they're very similar. They almost got the same score for me. It's just that he is like the beta, and they're like he does like take the back seat a lot. Like it's like more than he probably should. And there is times where he like finally goes like the double eviction where Howie goes. He does like no, I need this, and he'll lock in and make sure he has it. But like him agreeing to throw the veto all those times when he probably shouldn't be agreeing to throw his vetoes because he needs Janelle gone.
The one veto he agrees to throw is the one you guys keep harping on. It's one. You guys are harping on one, and it's the Janelle veto. At the end of the day, if the priority is to get your alliance member also in the end with you, why is it that big of a deal? I think you guys we're not talking. Let's be fucking real. The reason why both of these people are on the show is because Will wanted Mike to be on the show, and Mike wanted to be on the show. It's not because he was like, I need Will to be on. That's what they needed to have their moment. Will's been offering himself week to week about, send me home. And Boogie's been fighting since week one, positioning himself to be better in the middle. Like the throwing the veto is it takes so much value out of his game for you guys that Will is above him. Like you guys got me defending Mike Boogie on the stand right now.
It doesn't matter because but in the overall Boogie's on top.
That's true.
Oh, and thank God. And who caused that? Who set that system up? Was it not my rating? Right. Rating.
So that's what you want.
I don't want to hear it because it's because of me. And thank God.
You get your truth. I'm not.
What did Rachel say? The queen gets what she wants.
I was looking at the first two rows because my picture's not on there. So I'm like, what the hell is this? But thank God, the truth wins in the end.
So this is the order we have for BB7,
and it's wrong.
Well, this is a democracy, so. If
I wasn't there for the weeks that I don't think it is looking right.
So for the weeks that you were here, Chicken George, Janelle,
hallelujah,
Danielle, it will make sense.
To be sorry.
And so if you just have the top 6, ignore everyone else. The order makes sense to you. You're happy with it.
No.
Wait. So Boogie first. So for you would not put Boogie, Will, then Danielle, then Janelle, then Erika, and then George at the bottom. Is that not how you would rank it?
Oh, sorry. I thought you were talking about the top 6 as like
No. I'm talking about the top 6 of the season that you were there to rank.
Oh, well, yes.
That order makes you happy. Okay, well then that's fine.
Yeah, but the overall order does not.
My thing is, if you want to rate a player, you have to be there for the game review for it, just so you can
Okay,
establish everything.
and I hear you on that. I'm just telling you, I'm looking. I'm not saying change it, but there's something here that's not right, and I'm gonna stand in my truth.
I love
know-
that for you.
The comments also hear me.
I know you
And
want me to give Jace a 6, but I'm not gonna bump him up that high. Let me stop.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I can change Erika back to a 10 if you'd like that.
Hell no. And if you do that, I will give her a negative score.
So
She's
this
like-
is Big Brother 7, you guys. We finished it. Yay! How do you guys feel about the season overall now that we've finished everything? I know I've asked you that a few times already, but this is truly the end.
Danielle looks so good in her picture.
She looks so good.
Like,
I like
thanks.
all these photos. Like, I don't know
Well,
what's
they
about this
really do
background.
look good. I don't understand why some people have different backgrounds, but aside from that,
I
Well,
think
they
it's just
made
the
sure-
lighting.
They made sure Will and Chick and George got this special background. They said, "You two, come here, the stars. We're going to the special." Also, well, I need these type of backgrounds again. I don't like it when they're like in front of that gray screen, like these last couple of seasons. There's like always in front of like a gray background for some reason.
Mhm.
Like I like the camp. Like I always think of like Big Brother 11's backgrounds and like Big 13. They're like just like there's like the forest behind them for some reason. Like why is that there? I don't know. Like I want more fun backgrounds. But when it comes to the season of its all, I think this is still a top 10 season for me. Like I do. Maybe the gameplay is not the most dynamic as I would want it to be, but I have a lot of fun with the characters.
I do think this season is clouded by nostalgia bias. This is not
I'll admit that.
to the level of BB6 for me. I'd even say like, would I rather watch a BB4 than this? I don't know. Maybe. To be fair, I haven't read the feeds for those other seasons. Maybe I would have a different impression of it. I don't know. This certainly. You have great characters. You've got Janelle, you've got Will, you've got the Danielle, you've got the iconic Chilltown phone conversations. But it's like, it's good. Like, I'm not saying it's bad. I would watch it again, but I can't say BB7 is in my top echelon of seasons for me. Like, I just did a podcast. We did the BB27 retrospective. I prefer 27 way more than 7.
I do as well.
Like, it's not even a comparison for me anymore.
I'm trying to think out of shows I've been covered on the Reality Kingdom. I think I've old school 3 and 6 are above this for me, and then 26 and 27.
26 is above this. I agree.
To answer your question, how do I feel about this season? Honestly, I don't regret doing this retrospective or these like analysis.
Yeah, no regrets.
But I will say it has altered the way I view this season in a major way. Like in a major way. Because I think in a negative way. I started watching Big Brother, I think season 13. I think that may have been my first season. If not, it might have been 12. It's one
Shout
of
out
the
to Rachel.
It's either 11, 12, 13, 14. Shout out to my werewolf bestie. If y'all haven't watched that.
What's the werewolf game? Guys?
Shout out to me and Rachel. We ate that game. Unfortunately, we lost, but we won.
Yeah, it's like the winner of the game is here, it's not you.
Well, here's the thing. You wouldn't have won if I didn't decide to keep you.
Okay,
Right.
but
Right.
I didn't even vote you out, but I won.
Roll the tapes.
You had me snowed, but
I
that's
have to decide who wins in this moment and who do I want to take this away from. And I chose to keep you. All right. So back to this. I think those were my first seasons, one of the early teens. And then I went and I rewatched the older seasons, and 10 was definitely my favorite. And I don't know if I had 6 up there. I think it might have been my second favorite at that point in time. But 7 was one that I remember being like, oh my God, this is All Stars. Like, this is so much fun. And I think I saw All Stars before I saw some of these people's original seasons, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know how young 10-year-old me was going around watching these seasons. To be fair, a 10-year-old finding Big Brother on the legal websites is kind of crazy. But
it wasn't hard.
I mean, it wasn't hard, but it was crazy. The internet's a scary place. Alas, so watching it back and having my brain developed as a 25-year-old, to say that I look lower on some of these players, Kaser specifically, oof. Like had I watched this season and then we would have had All Stars and Kaser would have came back, I would not have been as excited as I was when he initially was announced. Do you get what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I thought James was way smarter. I think the first time I watched this, and the second time I'm watching this, I'm like, blah, blah. And everyone seems like Howie is maybe it's a sign of the times. Maybe it's getting woke in here. I don't know. Me personally, Howie saying boobies every 5 seconds.
Yeah, I hated it.
Was so annoying and so degrading.
Annoying.
So weird. The weird moaning, like it was really annoying. Chicken George, I didn't have much of an opinion, but getting on here and finding out he's acting like his shit don't stink.
Yeah.
And he can't even do his homework. Like it made me dislike Chicken George a lot more.
Can I say on that Chicken George specifically, I'm so glad you didn't give him shit because like Chicken George, we talk about nostalgia bias. People like look back on Chicken George like, oh, Chicken George was campy fun. He was in the BB7 house. That was so cute. If Chicken George played today, we would all be pissed as fuck.
Yeah.
And going back, reading those archives, absolutely not. I'm sorry.
Chicken George is good on like a binge watch. He's not good in like real time actually reading the feeds because like his veto win is very campy. Like his veto win is very funny. It's very campy, but like that's good on a binge watch. If it happens in real time, you're like, why is he still here? Why is he going over my faves like Danielle, James, Marcellus? Like, why is he still here? Like,
and it's sad because I think a lot of these people peak. I don't want to say peak, but did really well on their first season, which is why they're all stars. Like, I Sealed Your Partner's Fate is iconic. I'm coming back a second time. Womp womp. Nokomis, for example, and like the inventor, the helper of facilitators of the back door. Granted, you can argue who gets credit for it. I don't want to give her necessarily credit, but she did help implement it. She was the
first to pull it off.
She's the first to pull it off. I give it credit to, I think his name is Marvin, if I'm not mistaken. But she comes in here, she flops. You know what I mean? Say what you want about Jace. You know what? I thought it was cute. You know, he's a father now. I don't know if that's still his reality or that's still his tea. That was sweet. But, you know, he was giving me a little bit more in his original season. Like, let's be real. Marcellus is Marcellus. Like, you can't, he kind of peaked when he got evicted. Oh, my God. And then Julie Chen hit him in the head. She still talks about it to this day. What was it? I watched an interview where she was like, oh, it was like, what was your most memorable or iconic eviction? She's done so many evictions and she still talks about hitting Marcellus on the head. You get what I'm saying? Like, all of them have such high bars. And then they come on the season and it's like, ooh. And Erika on this rewatch, she is such a flop to me. Like Chop Suey, Chop Yana. Like, So this season has been, the nostalgia is gone, to be honest. Like, I'm kind of like, all right.
Completely agreed. This season needed a blockbuster. I said it before, and I say, you need to shake this up. It's too stagnant.
That's T, because Janelle would not be competing. She would have won the vetoes, and then it would. Oh, that would have been. I see you, and I hear you, and I see that world.
Mm-hmm.
I think as we get more into these like old seasons that I know I have a lot of nostalgia for. I don't know about y'all. I think the more we do live read research, I'm gonna go, ugh. Like, I've done some live read research, but not to like the extent that we've done for this segment specifically. So like, we're gonna get to certain players like, what if I go to number 8? I'm like, oh, Eric Stein's really not that guy. Like, I don't want that to happen. Like, I want to have this good thoughts to have.
But here's my thing. Like,
it's gonna be fun.
If I do go back and I read that like not every player is as good as you think they are, then this season is going to go up by comparison. Like, again, like maybe this is the first season we've reviewed in this capacity, so maybe I'm being unfair by treating it this way. But like, I think a lot of the reasons why we glamorize old seasons like BB7 and say, "Oh, old school Big Brother was so good," it's like, this is like not as good as you remember it is. So let's like stop holding like newer seasons to such insane standards, is my opinion.
I think it's for more the personalities than gameplay, because I think the gameplay is stagnant for like a very long time.
Yeah,
I hear you. It's the personalities. I think there's this I don't care attitude. I think it has to do with social media. I think it has to do with the time. Granted, there are negative effects from it. Let's not rehash the use of the R word, but I will say it feels like people aren't like presenting themselves in a way where it's like, I want to be an influencer after this, which I think is like some things that are missing. And like, I always love the key wheel. Like apparently people didn't love the key wheel originally, and then when it got removed, that's when people were liking it. I've always liked the key wheel. The key wheel and me are like this. So like I get nostalgic for those things as well. But ultimately, I don't want to one thing I really hate is watching podcasters who talk about a game that they claim to love just bash the game the entire time and like
Yeah.
bash everything about it. And I don't want to come across that way because it irks me when I see that because I'm like, why are you talking about it then if you hate it so much? I'm talking about it in a negative way because I held it in such high regards. But ultimately,
Yeah, same.
it's a sign of the times and it is a cult classic. I fear. Like I am more likely to watch this season again than a lot of other BB seasons, even though I'm looking at it less highly. And I think we get iconic moments. We get like Janelle's speech to Will, the Chilltown telephone boots, like not boots.
I hate you all speech. Yeah, stuff like that.
Yeah, like I hate you all speech. James going after George for some reason.
Danielle
Like
ringing the bell.
Allison telling Erika that she needs to buy some dignity. Like, oh, like this is good television. This is good television. But gameplay wise, if we're talking strictly strategy, which is what I've been talking about this entire time,
Yeah.
it's not as much as I thought it was. But for an overall watch, for an overall season, people are fighting, people are bickering, people are being ridiculous. George can be camp, I guess, if you're into that stuff. Like, it is really a good season. It's just not the best strategy forward season.
Yeah, and maybe doing the game reviews where it's pretty much what we talk about 90% gameplay isn't the best way to see the season. So maybe we're viewing it through that lens. And I want to reiterate what Josie said. Like, I don't dislike this season. I just think that I'm viewing it from a lens where it's held in such high esteem. And I'm just like, I think we're doing a bit too much. It's good. It's still Big Brother. I think I like every Big Brother season to some extent. And I still like it more than probably half. I'm just saying, like, let's be a little less crazy.
Yeah, we're also at the point where like we're about to be on season 28 of Big Brother. If this season isn't in your top half, that's probably a good thing. That means there's a lot of good Big Brother seasons.
Yeah.
I think it's also less like doing like sound effects heavy. Like I don't feel like I'm watching like Coco Melon for hours.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I miss that too.
It's so embarrassing. I try to get like my best friends. He's been my best friend since we were 5 years old. I'm like, yo, Monzel and Diallo, watch Big Brother. I want to be on this show so bad. That first episode, Ainsley popped up. They're like, yo, what the fuck do you have me watching right now? I was like,
they're like janky and like the songs and stuff. Like, you know, there isn't that in season 7. Like, if we're putting strategy aside, there's something so like enjoyable about it being just like people in a house. And let's see how they behave, and there's competitions there. Whereas now in modern BB, I feel like it's so competition heavy. Like I feel some type of way about Battle of the Block or whatever it's called, Bugbuster. Sorry, I have my thoughts on it because I think it takes away from strategy and social game and prioritizes competitions even more, which is kind of goes against the game. And I can go more in depth when the time will arise because that will definitely be set. Whereas like this to me feels more social game. Like the winner here has one of the best social games in the house, and that's what I think Big Brother is about, and that's why I respect the Mike Boogie win over an Erika win, like for example.
Yeah.
All right, but I think that about wraps it up for BB7. Please, if you guys want to see our thoughts on every other player and why we gave them the rating they did, check out all the videos. They're probably in the BB7 Rewind playlist somewhere. So please tell us what you thought. This is a new segment ready for BB28. So any feedback you have for me or Drake or Josiane, like, please let me know. We're more than happy. Please.
Yeah, this is the test run for like Big Brother season. There's gonna be a lot of segments.
So. Yeah, please join the Discord. As I mentioned, if you want to see my BB7 notes, I just put them in the Discord. If you want to talk about the season some more, BB7, please. I want to hear your thoughts, especially now that we're finished, because this is a wrap, you guys.
Yeah.
Again, we have the Patreon. If you want to see more content from Pharaoh and Lee in particular, you can get the reality segment. You can nominate them to talk about whatever is you're choosing by the Kingdom's Choice. There's a bunch of Love Island content going on over there. I'm sure there'll be Big Brother stuff going on there soon when Big Brother season starts. Also, newly, we got the Kingdom's Choice for the Reality Rewind. These are
Oh
the
my
10
god, Jersey
that have
Shore.
made the cut. Do you guys want to shout out any in particular?
We're pushing for who done it. Who done it in the
Okay,
big 2026?
Who done it? I think that was my gateway into like reality TV. I think that's like one of the first shows I remember
I don't know what
actively
it
watching.
is.
I love who done it.
It's so good and it's so camp. It's like the traders like this walked so the traders could run. This walked. I don't know if the original OG Most show like existed before Who Done It, but it's so good and it's so fun. And I think I watched it like maybe 3 or 4 or 5 years ago, and I was like, this still stands. Like this still to me eats. Like so,
Sweet.
shout out to Who Done It. I just got distracted by Jersey Shore, but Who Done It and Total Drama Island is Canadian, so I'm rocking with the 3 of them.
Shout out to Heather.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to my roots. Shout out to one of the best country there is. Yes.
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 It's
was-
so. I was gonna say,
Okay.
with Total Drama Island, we had a kid on a named Cody, and for like my whole time, the first episode of Total Drama Island, he goes, "I'm the Code Meister." I called him Code Meister for 5 years in elementary
Aw.
school. I'd be like, "What's up, Code Meister?" He'd be like, "Why do you call me that shit, dog?" I'm like, "Code Meister."
It's sweet. And I was gonna do the schedule, but I don't have the schedule for July yet. But I know we're going hardcore into Big
Oh.
Brother. So for BB28, do you guys want to pitch any cool new segments that you guys might want to be involved in?
Oh.
To look forward
I
to?
mean, yeah, I'm hosting a segment. I think we're gonna call it the Social Network still, but we'll be talking about social game because that's all I talk about. That's all I care about is social.
Amen. Yeah.
So I have a whole segment dedicated to it. I think Lee is like the co-host that's constantly on with me, and we'll have people rotating in and out. So that's gonna be so much fun, and you guys get to hear me talk about my favorite part, which is social dynamics and sociology. So big win.
That's gonna be hype. I can't wait. And Drake, what about you?
And for me, I got the historical look back segment. You couldn't get enough of me. I'm gonna be hosting that one. Basically, at the end of each week, I'm gonna go through it and compare it to a past week in Big Brother history, and just seeing if I can predict what I think is gonna happen based off presidents that's happened in the past. And my co-host for that is none other than Cass.
Wow. Yay, gang. Oh, we're gonna have such a good time, you guys. And again, thank you for joining me for BB7 so much. Can't wait to talk about more with you, hopefully for BB28. But that's a wrap. So thanks for keeping it real with the kingdom. We out.
Peace.